Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this, the 18th episode of Blood on the Thames, the Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in London, England. With me tonight,
Carlos playing Moses of Clan Nosferatu.
Peter from playing Benjamin from Clan Malkavian. Nearly slipped into being Clan Malkavian myself there.
Rachel playing Katia of Clan Tremere.
And Philip playing Jim Roy Woods of Clan Gangrel.
So, did we want to do it at the start? Do we want to do
do it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll jump straight in with a recap then for episode 17, guys, and then we'll get stuck into it.
Right. So, with the discussion that the coterie are having, Jim has, in a way, agreed to pay for the repairs to Moses' door. Katia has agreed to pay for Benjamin's window, which he smashed. The coterie has been considering their current problems and agreed to hunt in pairs or groups when dangerously hungry.
So, on the way out, accompanying Jim on a hunt, Benjamin spots a figure watching them in a slightly disturbing manner, and he warns Moses and Katia.
They find out in turn that this fellow is called Graham McEwen, and he is searching for Alicia.
So Benjamin helps Jim on a hunt, turning what should be a gangrel murder into merely some grievous bodily harm.
Meanwhile, Katia and Moses start following Graham. Well, we encounter him again, and he's with an associate. Moses starts shadowing them, and he learns that both Graham and his associate Amy are lupines, and they are looking for Jim in a very nasty way.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Katia has been ghost chasing at the crossed hands, and the ghost decides to attack Jim in the shower. And lures a sleepwalking Miss Morality into the basement.
However, before Katia can learn more, Moses calls ahead to tell everyone to get the heck out of Dodge. And they do, because that's what you do when lupines are coming for you. Benjamin goes out to the front and sees Graham watching from across the street, whilst the rest of the coterie flees into the tunnels.
However, while Benjamin is driving away, he realises that he's being followed by someone in another car.
And that is where we left off. So, with regards to willpower, I'll let you recover one. Because you are technically mid-scene.
That's all I need.
Well, that's not all I need. But
That's all I was missing.
I'll take it.
Take it. Thank you. Thank you.
Back to normal.
Back to normal.
Yeah.
So, guys, with very little information kind of shared beyond what frantic screaming Moses has passed back to you as you race down the tunnels, you can hear the echoing footsteps of one another just barreling down this chamber with very little light shed onto why. Although you did mention lupines, and there was a shocked reaction from Jim, you are charging headfirst into pitch blackness down here, unless you have a light source, I'm assuming. Cool.
Yeah.
So with your meager light source kind of thrashing back and forth, it's difficult for you to find your way through here without stumbling now and again, but you've tread down here once or twice, enough at least that you guys have managed to get a rough idea of where you're going, which is, where are you headed?
The intersection that is near the the commercial area where the dumpsters are with all the food and all, where Jim and Moses were rat hunting, so we know there are that's the intersection where there's a lot of rats, or there should be a lot of rats in that vicinity.
Okay.
So I'm going to the same place we went last time that we knew, because there were dumpsters near the commercial area, like the McDonald's and all the restaurants and all that. It's more likely to have rats, and that's where we hunt. And when we got actually bitten by a lot of rats.
Okay.
So that's where we're going.
All right. With Moses on the lead, you trudge down this pathway, heading towards the area that you recently fed in, and with the distinct taste of rats still in your mouth, you manage to arrive into an area where there are still remains from the pieces of the rodents that you managed to chew your way through, that have not been wholly digested by their kin.
Mm-hmm.
But of live rats, there is almost no sign.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Shh. Listen, if there's anyone, like, we're not breathing. We can stand still. I want to hear if there's any other sound, footsteps approaching, anyone.
Wits plus awareness.
I can imagine I'd probably be doing this as
Yeah,
well.
sure. So would I. Oh crap. My first roll with my new vampire dice, because they're right with me. Yay! Oh shit.
Oh no.
Why now, man? Why now?
Messical critical win with a total of 6 successes.
I got a 4 success.
Messy critical.
Messy critical. Shit.
What hunger are you on?
I'm on 3.
Okay.
And I cannot reroll that because that is on both.
Just suck some rat corpses.
That is both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I get it.
Yeah,
Now I get
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So, you all listen, and beyond the sounds of dripping water, beyond the sounds of footsteps overhead, distant though they are, you can't hear anything echoing down these tunnels. You can hear very, very quiet movement further down the tunnels, or at least Jim can, which suggests that there are more rats in this tunnel, just not in this area. And Jim, listening intently to these sounds, begins trudging after them further into the dark, down a passage which you don't normally head down. It's not a conscious effort that he's doing, it seems like he's more veering towards it. And then just when he's about to start down this tunnel, he stops. And then you feel a very sharp, cold descend over you, which is odd given that you don't have any sort of temperature, but it's there. It's a sensation of an awareness of self that you're not quite, you don't know what it is, but there is something about yourself that you are suddenly acutely aware of, something that's been escaping your notice up until now. And it's like the hunger, but it's different. It's almost alien. And that's odd for a new kindred, because a lot of things are alien. But this doesn't feel like the smell of the blood that's around you, in terms of the rats, is as appetizing as it otherwise would be. Meanwhile, you guys can only hear the very small movements of rats further ahead, but there's nothing coming down the tunnel from which you've just fled. And if anything is going on in your haven, you're too far now to hear it.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
Something's off.
Ram is a lupine.
Oh shit.
That makes sense.
Well, I don't know how I'm alive, but
Nor me.
well, he was asking very specifically for you, Jim.
Do you piss off everyone you meet?
I have met a lupine exactly once. The same night that I met my sire.
So when you were embraced?
When I was kind, when I was still human.
Oh, before, okay.
Before all this.
Let me guess. What you saw was him gutting her.
I have no idea if it was him, if it was someone else. Whoever it was, I hit them with a car. You see a monster standing over a woman?
Do it.
You're in a car.
We should split up. Find a place where to spend the night. Because these guys were sitting in front of the bus stop outside the crossed hands. They are more likely to go in if they get impatient, or during the day looking for us. Okay? You have A place to stay?
Yeah, I've got somewhere to go.
No.
Can you take him somewhere?
Nope, I cannot. Absolutely not.
Where were you staying last? Last time you stayed in my house, things ended up bad, and I ended up without a car. Why don't you go to Benjamin's? You know where he lives, right? You've stayed there a couple of times.
Once.
Yeah. Also, I'm not staying in my condo, so it's useless. Bye. Text me when you are safe.
Yeah.
Okay?
When Lupin is around, we ain't nowhere safe.
Well, I don't know.
I'll be safe.
Well, Lupin's.
Just go into the shadows and stand there and obfuscate, and wait to see where they're going.
So, on the occasions where I've in the past helped Moses, and we've discussed things like camera locations, and we probably know the tunnel network leading out from the crossed hands, would I know where the nearest kind of access hatch, I suppose, to somewhere I could travel to the Chantry would be?
Yeah, I mean, the Chantry seems to be like a place that you would at least consider while you're studying. The closest one is not like right next door.
Yeah.
It certainly gets you covers the most ground to get you there.
Yeah.
So that'd be easy enough for you to find.
Yeah.
However, you still have all specs up when you made your roll, yes?
I don't have heightened senses. I've got see the unseen.
Okay, in which case you two do a contested roll.
Okay.
Because you are technically obfuscated and you can potentially see him.
That's true.
And these wits plus obfuscate, right? For me?
It's 5 successes.
Well, that's
I know!
That's quite a lot. 6. No, 5 as well.
5. Technically, you're the acting party against something she's already got up, so although Moses backpedals, looking for all the world like he's about to head off, he suddenly develops that blurry edge, that keening, which you've come to know and recognise as him having developed this power. And he just stays there.
Shrug. And I'm gonna start heading off the way that I know to go.
Okay. Right, so you're heading off towards the Chantry. You're following...
Katya.
Okay. Where are you going?
I'm going to try and use tunnel network to get close to the nearest tube station to take any close tubes to Benjamin's.
To Benjamin's?
To Benjamin's place, yes.
Okay.
Very bad at it.
So,
Once Jim's outside and she's in the street, or going to the street,
I'm not at street level yet.
yeah. But once Jim is enough outside, then he will not be overhearing any conversations that echo in the tunnels. I approach Katya.
okay.
I'm like,
It's not polite to follow people.
well, it's also impolite to bring a lot of lupines to our haven. That's why I wanted to have a chat with you.
Oh, well, if that's the case, I suppose that's alright.
Remember that we're looking for Alicia?
Yes?
The guy was very specific. The reason I'm alive is because apparently Alicia dropped my name.
What, so...
I have no idea what to think, but she knows this Graham. It's not like, doesn't feel like he's just hunting her.
It almost feels like... it sounds a bit like as if there's a debt. I can't see any other reason why Lupine would do anything for...
I think Alicia is toying with him and he likes the fun. They seem to have... They seem to know each other quite well. Or enough for... Like, well, she certainly has enough influence. So he sums up all the restraint he has not to kill Kindred right there and then. He even answered some of my questions.
Answered some of mine as well. It's quite impressive.
So that's the reason we're alive, or at least me, because his friend, Amy, she could see me. See me.
Doesn't surprise me massively that a Lupine could do that.
It does surprise me, yeah. Because I need to find a way of hiding from them as well. Especially if Jim is going to remain a part of this coterie. He's like...
Well, you need to find a way to cover up your scent, which will be a lot harder.
I haven't thought of that. Hey, hang on a second.
I'm not saying you smell bad, I'm just saying they can probably smell death on you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So there's nothing stopping them from chasing us by smell into wherever we're going to be spending the night.
Yeah. You're probably right.
I just take out my rosary and start praying as I call every single rat that I can.
Okay.
Without going hungry!
Okay. I need you to make a roll.
Yes.
-2.
Okay. That is going to be, for summoning, I think is manipulation plus animalism. -2. That is 1 success.
1 success. You get carried through these tunnels is the sound of movement, but it's faint. And it grows very slightly louder, but not to the kind of height that you expect, and certainly not to the height that it did previously. And you get maybe 2 rats, 3 that kind of bob towards you, and then 1 turns and scurries off the moment it sees you. And the other 2 keep a distance. They don't come straight up to you, but they are within sight. But there's a caution in the way that they're approaching.
Okay.
Do you need anything else, or can I?
I was thinking about losing our scent with other
With 2 rats.
Well,
We're quite a lot larger than rats.
yeah, but I think I've been feeding from them and their friends, so probably that's why they're not coming. Do you have any way of getting lupines off of our cases?
I think that's a little above my pay grade. I think right now our best ally is swiftly getting to our own safe locations.
Bye.
Bye. Don't follow me this time.
No, I just run away into the tunnels. I never go above ground. I just keep it underground until I reach the tube or the sewers, and just change from one to the other until I reach my own other haven, the other haven, that one.
Okay. So you guys continue heading off into your safe locations, or towards your safe locations, or the safest locations you can think of. Meanwhile, Benjamin, with your painting in tow,
Yes.
safely nestled in the back of your car, you head away from the crossed hands, knowing that there's a moment of not necessarily pride, but you feel satisfied that you've done your part in letting them know that there are people out front and that they should go at the back. And you begin making your way towards...
Well, I think I was probably making my way back to my flat. However, when I become aware that there is someone following me, I'm not going to head straight to my flat. I'm going to drive for a bit until I get to the first traffic lights or bit where I'm going to be, I'm going to have to pause or stop briefly.
Okay. So, the individual that is following you in a car is following... They're not being obvious about it. There is a subtlety to what they're doing, but it's also not the kind of subtlety that you'd expect from someone that cared if they knew they were being observed. It's more a polite distance that's afforded you as you're making your way. And catching a glimpse of this individual in the car, you notice it to be a woman that looks as though she's in her early 20s, with her hair tied back, and what looks to be the upper part of a trench coat or something similar that has a high collar. And she's just following you as you're going, and she is just observing your car.
And I haven't seen her before, have I?
No, you don't recognise her.
Okay. So yeah, I'll drive along for a little while, almost just anywhere, I'm not that bothered, until I get to because the thing is, Benjamin wants to try and contact the coterie with the walkie-talkie, but he's not going to do that whilst he's driving, because that's how accidents happen, so he's going to wait until he gets to traffic lights or something.
Okay. It doesn't take you too long to find traffic lights, not in London.
Okay.
And before too long you pull up next to the lights, and the other car's about 3 cars behind you.
Okay, so I'll get the walkie-talkie and be, hello, it's Benjamin, hello. There's someone following me. Anyone? Hello? Right, okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to try and essentially, because I've already got heightened senses up, I'm going to try and kind of push my senses, basically looking for any opportunities to lose this tail. So what I'm trying to do is do a premonition.
Okay.
To do that.
Okay.
I'll see if I'm going to go hungry after it. Yes, I am. But first, let's make this roll. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
You reach out with your senses, and as you pull up onto the light, the sensation that you begin getting is odd. You feel as though there is a kind of coldness, but it's not aimed from behind you. In fact, there's almost like a warmth from behind you, almost as though your seat suddenly becomes warm.
Okay.
And as you glance over into the wind mirror, you realise that the individual that's tailing you in the car, you're not getting the cold sensation that you think that you would have gotten. Instead, there is a very cold spot that you can feel almost radiating through your roof, and as you kind of peer up, you realise that there is a very faint silhouette of someone up on a rooftop who is moving almost in tandem with your vehicle.
So I think the person following me in a car, I'm not getting a sense of alarm from them.
No, you're getting a kind of warm sensation. It's almost like heated seat. It's flooding the rear of you, from behind.
But there is someone on a rooftop that is
you're getting a cold sensation from up above.
And are they on like the left-hand side? Okay, so I guess what I'm going to do is drive along for a little bit, looking for a reasonably fast road on the right.
Okay.
Because I want to make it as hard for them as possible to follow me on the rooftops. And then I will, for Benjamin, signal late. But probably not that late, really. And then I'll take a right turn and try and get away from the person following me on the roofs.
Okay.
I'm a bit worried he's going to ask me to make a roll in a minute.
Yes.
Dry rolls never go well.
It's not
with our
on, not on
party.
Hunger 3, it doesn't. No.
No, not. I'm just going to have to look around. Messy critical. Oh, crap.
Man, I can't rouse for this.
You
one.
can, but then
No, I
Hunger
can't.
4 is loom in.
No, I can't do Hunger 4 for this. I need a bit in the tank in case this goes wrong.
Dexterity plus drive, please. Since you said you were turning away from where the person is on the roof, I'll give you a +2. Because you are essentially putting distance between you and someone that is
He really
limited
doesn't
by
want to have to
buildings.
narrate another car crash.
Yeah, that was so book one.
I don't
now.
mind actually; they're not that bad.
It's so book one.
But I've
So
this
funny.
reputation apparently I'm getting. I need to.
All right. Oh, I'm gonna spend a willpower.
You better.
Yeah, good idea.
3.
Okay.
It's actually not bad.
Okay, you are the active participant, and you tie, so you succeed. As you are veering off, driving, you are keenly aware of where that cold spot is, and it seems to move further back into the car until it kind of blends with the warm sensation that you're having. And as you glance into your mirror, reluctantly turning it so that you can actually view, and feeling a flush of relief when you realise that there is no one sat in the back of your car. You note that the individual that's up on the roof, or the silhouette that's up on the roof, has not moved from the spot it's in, but it is moved closer, giving you a more solid look at the outline. Although you can't make out any features, but you can see movement, almost like limbs moving up, almost as though they're pressing something to their ear. The car behind you keeps pace, although it remains 2 cars behind you now.
I think that Benjamin is just going to drive for a little while, not really knowing what to do.
Okay.
And every so often he will, like when he comes to some traffic lights or whatever, he'll like pick up the walkie-talkie and go, "Hello, please, anyone?" And
And every time.
Yeah. Now that I've had this warmer sense, if you like, from my back, Do I don't know. I don't know if this is reading too much into it, but do I have a sense that they seem non-threatening or?
It's hard for you to tell.
No, I think Benji's
It's
going to.
just different and less unpleasant.
It's just less. Oh my god, than the one on the roof. Okay.
I mean, you're cold anyway. You're dead.
Yeah.
So to feel actual cold is very unsettling.
Okay, well I think I'm gonna. I'll just drive for a while. Assuming she's still just keeping pace and following regardless.
But there's no kind of desperation or hurry in what they're doing. They seem just as content to keep 2 cars distance between them and you.
Okay. All right. At some point, I think I'm gonna look. Oh, the thing is, my painting's in the car. Oh, I was gonna go up on foot, but you don't abandon a painting at a time like this, do you? No, I think I will actually. I'm gonna. In fact, next time I'm at traffic lights, I will go for my phone this time.
Okay. Again, it's not hard for you to come to traffic lights in London. Before too long, you are rolling up towards them. You are several cars behind the closest to the traffic lights, and it gives you enough of a window to pull out your phone and begin scouring safely through the list.
All right, I'm going to call Edmund.
Okay.
If in doubt.
Bzzzt. 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 Bzzzt.
She's gonna wait. She's gonna pick up.
Bzzzt.
Oh, this is intolerable. Okay. So I think actually I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm going to drive for a while. I'm going to drive very sedately. I'm going to drive very sensibly, do everything right, and I'm just keeping my eye open for any opportunity. For example, if I come to lights where the lights, like where you can cruise up to the lights as they're about to change, where you just get through on the last, that kind of thing. I'll be looking for options like that. But I'm happy to take my time to find one.
Okay. Then I will allow you the choice of... Well, if you're taking the time to do it, I'll say your choice between dexterity or intelligence plus drive.
I'll take... that's fine, yeah.
Yep. So are you trying to lose the person behind you as well, or are you just driving?
Because I think my current suspicion is that I've lost the person on the rooftop by now. That's my current impression. But I've still got this tail on the back. So I am trying to lose them as well, because there is a rando following me. Oh, God. 2 successes.
Okay. We'll jump back to you in a moment. So, Jim, moving away from the rest of the coterie, you continue on your own into the tunnels, making your way towards the closest subway station. There's not one too far away. They're all over London. And you manage to cram into one. There is a load of people commuting, even at this late hour, going back and forth. Where did you want to head? Towards Benjamin's?
I wanted to try and lose any... having a sense that something's wrong. I'm going to try and tube hop, so hop on one train for a while, go on a different line, hop over a bit.
Are you just randomly hopping, or are you going somewhere specific?
Randomly hopping, but ultimately ending up in two sort of near Ben's place.
Okay. You stay on the tubes as they go back and forth up and down the lines, jumping off every now and again and making your way over to the nearest station, heading in a different direction. Making your way the long route over to where Ben resides. And it takes you a good while to make your way there. But once you get there, you feel a little bit better that maybe you bought yourself some time or lost any potential pursuit. And before too long, you find yourself coming towards Benjamin's place. But based upon its outward appearance, there doesn't appear to be anyone there.
I'm going to see if there's a way up to the roof of where his apartment is. Okay.
Just gonna have a look for a fire escape or something.
Yes, just way to get to the roof.
Okay. It's There are no obvious fire escapes. The main way of getting in and out of the building is the either going through one of the windows or going up and down the actual stairwell. You could try breaking in through the stairwell.
I'm not on break in. Would rather slip up there.
Okay. All right. We'll jump back to you in a moment. Katia, making your way back towards the Chantry. You manage to come back above ground with as much distance put between you and the haven as you can, and then via public transport, or are you taking?
Yeah, she would use public transport, but where possible, the busiest that she can.
Okay, it's at this hour. The most of the people that are on there are people that have gone out drinking or and aren't driving back. So there, whilst there's not loads of people cramming onto public transports like there might be after the working day, there it suddenly feels claustrophobic with the way people are sloshing about, the volume of everything, and it's distracting. I'm assuming you still don't have. No, you don't have heightened sensor. Anyway, apologies. You come off the bus closest to the Chantry, and you know it's a good 2-minute walk. And you begin making your way straight there, are you?
Yes, but I want to double check I don't have any tails.
Okay, wits plus awareness.
1, 2, 3 successes.
Okay. You glance around you take your time to double check. You make sure that there's no one on any of the levels around you, and based upon what you can see, there is nobody that is paying you any particular attention. There are people moving back and forth, there always are, but there is no one that seems to be giving you any undue attention, and certainly no one here that you recognise as Graham or Amy. So,
in that case, I will make my way towards the Chantry.
Okay. So you make your way up inside, and there are a few acolytes moving back and forth through the inner veins of the Chantry. Do you want to head anywhere specifically?
I think she's going to be making her way towards the library, but she is going to text Sabine as she is on the way and say, if you have a window tonight, I have some more information.
Okay. It doesn't take you too long before you get a response. It's not the best typed response, but it rarely is from Sabine. It simply says, where?
I say, I'd probably say our home, because I wouldn't text Chantry or obvious kind of terms.
Okay.
I imagine if this is something I've probably phrased it this way before.
Yeah. The response is bring a good book. And you go and set yourself into the library, I'm assuming, and you're only waiting there about 12 to 15 minutes before Sabine arrives, discarding a coat and a scarf that she had on, and she folds them over her arm as she moves over to the table and sits down. What can I do for you, darling?
Sorry to drag you here yet again. I seem to have been installed with the most trouble-attracting coterie in all of London.
She leans back.
I had a conversation with a pair of lupines this evening.
And you're sure they're lupines?
Well, they were...
Forgive me for saying, darling, but you seem to be remarkably hale for an encounter with the lupines.
Yes, this surprises me as much as it does you. Well, I wasn't completely sure myself. They were clearly not human. They didn't say to me explicitly what they were. I had suspicions, but they also appeared before another member of my coterie and explicitly said what they were and what they were doing. And the fact that they left him alive was down to sport, I think.
So who was this member of your coterie that they confessed this to?
The Nosferatu, Moses. But they're not...
And what was their claimed purpose?
They're hunting Jim Roy Woods, the other member of my coterie. It seems the gangrel has had a run-in with them in the past, perhaps. I believe they were also on the hunt for his sire. There seems to be a lot of troublesome history to that one.
I'm struggling to come up with a reason for why you are both unharmed. It would seem, at least in my experiences, that they make almost no exception.
The only information I have for you there is that supposedly the lupine who spoke to my coterie member told him that the only reason he was alive was because this woman, this Alicia, dropped his name into conversation. So it suggests an interesting... Well, I mean, he told me this himself, that they had a complicated relationship. Himself, the lupine and this Alicia. I don't know why that means I was left alive. They didn't seem remotely interested in me. They were keen on hunting this Jim, and I ensured just in case that I wasn't followed, and I took quite a roundabout route to get here in the first place. But as far as I'm aware, they are hunting down the gangrel with a view to do something unpleasant to him, I'm sure. Apologies if I seem a little out of sorts. It's been an
Katya, in the most offhanded way, you may have just made my evening infinitely better.
I have.
And you're certain the name was Alicia?
Yes, and if it helps, the lupine in question was called Graham McEwen.
She takes out a notebook, flips it open, and begins writing. McEwen.
Yes, McEwen. The other one with him, she was younger. She had very close shaved hair, I recall.
Do you know the name?
She was called Amy. I don't think I got her surname.
And your coterie member that they were after?
Jim Roberts.
Thank you, darling.
No, not a problem. Would you... Of course, I'll probably be staying in the vicinity for a little while.
Of course.
Since our...
It'll be good to have you back.
Thank you. Hopefully I can get on with a bit of research while I'm here.
Certainly make the most of the opportunity, I say. I myself was about to head out. You caught me on the way out, actually.
Please don't manage to catch you then.
Was there anything else at all I can do for you, darling?
That's all for now. I'm sure there'll be some other new catastrophe to make you aware of.
Well, if you have attracted the attention of lupines, there are magics in effect to ensure that they don't find their way here. So as long as you stay in the proximity of the Chantry, you should be safe.
I will do just that.
Your coterie mates, however, I cannot speak to.
Yes, I will remain in contact with them because I'm certainly interested to find out what happened. But I think I will be staying here.
Not at all. Well, darling, I have seen Will around if you wanted to attempt to make that connection. I'm not certain whether or not she's still in the Chantry, but I figured I'd give you forewarning. If you'd rather leave it to another time, that is entirely your prerogative.
While I am here, it would seem as good a time as any to bridge that gap, perhaps.
That's whether or not she's still in the building. I did see her earlier this evening. But regardless, darling, I really must dash. I will be back later on if you need to.
Of course. Let me know if you need anything at all.
Of course. And thank you again, darling.
Not at all.
Look after yourself.
I will.
And you look a bit gaunt, darling. Have you fed?
Not exceedingly recently.
Well, you know where they are.
Yes.
I recommend doing it promptly. The Regent is in as well.
I shall. I find it easy to concentrate when I'm fed anyway.
Okay, darling. Good evening.
See you soon. Goodbye.
She gets back up, pulls back on her coat, wraps her scarf, and steps out. Moses. So, having split off away from Katia, with the few rats watching you from the shadows, where are you going?
I bring the 2 rats with me for a walk. Like, hey, let's go.
They follow at a distance, at a wide distance.
Yeah, I just asked them to take me the smelliest route they can take me. Like, if I have to go through the sewers or whatever, I want to lose all of my scent, or going to places so ungodly stenchful that I just don't breathe. Go through them, and then go to my haven, the other haven.
Okay.
So it's basically just asking the rats to use their smell to tell me where it stinks.
Okay. They, with some measure of enthusiasm, as much as you can measure in a rat, turn on their tails and begin making their way back down the way that you've just come. So you begin making your way past them, keeping up at the quick pace that they make, darting back and forth, going further down these tunnels, and then branching off down the corridor, which moments before, or not too long before rather, Jim had lingered at. And you begin making your way down there, and it begins making its very slow descent down into the maintenance tunnels, and then from there even lower and lower down towards the sewer passages. And you are hit immediately with the increasing stink of the passages.
I choose not to breathe anymore.
Probably a wise choice. The rats, however, seem to flourish in this atmosphere and just continue going further and further. You keep following them?
Yeah, all the way until I think I know. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go this way and go to my other place.
Okay.
So I just...
The way that they're leading you is not particularly towards your haven. It seems more of a kind of erratic movement through the labyrinth that is the London underpass.
Yeah, but whomever is following me by scent will have a beautiful time going through all of this.
In which case, I will say we will make your choice between dexterity or intelligence.
Okay. My choice has been made.
Yep. Plus streetwise. And you get +2.
Okay.
+3, because technically you've got the
rats. I knew the rats were a good idea. I spent it with PowerPoint.
Okay.
Four successes.
Okay. The passages that you take are sporadic, and the movements that you take are confusing enough that you think that you could leave a decent, very difficult to follow trail behind you. I mean, not being someone that can track via their scent alone, it's difficult for you to gauge just how difficult you've made it, but you're pretty confident. And by the time you splinter off away from the rats, you feel better. And you also come to the conclusion that because you've doubled back on yourself once or twice, if you were being trailed, you are now in very close proximity to the people that are trailing you, or you've lost them.
Okay.
So you begin making your way off back towards your second hit. It's gonna be a while. By the time you get back, there's not gonna be much else that you can do, but you are making your way back to there.
Yeah, especially if I need to go across like tube lines or whatever. Like if I'm standing on one side of the tube, and then I can jump like across from one, like literally Potence jump. To leave gaps where I don't even touch the ground or whatever, all the way to my haven. So what I start doing, I grab my phone, I go to the last text sent out, and I go, so Graham showed up in my place. Now I cannot sleep in my own house.
You're sending that to Alicia?
Of course. If you're looking for him, he's at the Cross Hands. If you're looking for Jim, he's at Benjamin's. If you're looking for me, just say the word and I'll show up. Kisses! And I send. And I put it in my pocket and walk, and eventually there will be enough signal for it to go off. So I just have it in my outbox. Okay. I just put my... And I just tell Rick and Morty just to keep like, just go back, go home, bye-bye.
Okay. In the amount of time that you spent with them, and the fact that you haven't eaten them, they seem to have warmed enough that they're now closer to you, and they seem almost reluctant when you tell them to shove it.
Oh, really? No, come. And I just pet them a little bit, like on the head, and I try to find something to feed them, like whatever I find in my pocket, like
break
here.
Break off one of your fingers.
No.
Oh.
He needs those for when he sees Thimble.
Yeah. I need fingers for Thimble.
And you begin, after kind of stroking their shit-covered fur, you make your way back off.
Yeah, if they want to follow me along, yeah, they'll follow me along. Yeah, I'll let them.
Okay. Benjamin, you've been driving as long as you can, and there are a few moments where you think that you've lost this individual, and you're confident you have. But then a few moments pass by, and as you're making another turn, the car pulls back in behind you. This time a little bit closer. And then when you come up towards the traffic lights and you glance back into the car, the woman that is in there gestures and says,
I haven't got any sense of this rooftop freak thing following me at this point, I'm assuming. I don't still think that they're like...
It's not as prominent as you once thought. There is still a cold sensation, but it's not
okay,
like pinpointable.
Yeah, sure.
Danger.
Okay, I'll pull over.
Okay. So you pull over.
I don't know.
You pull over into one of the bus lanes, and immediately.
Yeah, you know nothing.
I know nothing. I just know there's a woman in the car.
You're Jon Snow now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then immediately her car turns down, turning just before yours. Do you still have heightened senses?
Yeah.
You can hear the engine die, and then you hear a door slamming. And it's mixed in the myriad of other sounds which are currently assailing your senses, and it's hard for you to kind of focus on one at the expense of the others. But then when you look back towards the mirror, you see her turn the corner with her hands in the pocket of her trench coat, marching towards your car, and immediately she goes up to it, opens at the passenger side, gets in, shuts it. Drive.
I'll start driving.
Okay. She doesn't say anything. She just sits in the car with you. And you begin making your way anywhere in particular, or you just...
Well, I'm just driving forward for the moment. Has she put a seatbelt on?
Yes.
Good. And I will say, so, hello there.
Hello. If you drive long enough, you will lose them, and then we can speak.
All right, good. Yes, losing them seems like a good idea. I'll drive for a bit.
Okay, turn left.
I'll do as I'm told.
We are going to say this will be a wits plus dex.
Wits plus dex?
No, sorry, wits plus drive.
Yeah.
And you will get +1 from the teamwork.
Oh, okay.
So she starts giving you directions.
Scary on hunger 3.
Oh, boy.
Whee! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
With the directions that she's given you and your heightening of your senses beyond even their normal level, you are turning down passages and you are cutting red lights. Not cutting red lights going through them, but you are making your way through them at a safe speed at the last possible moments. And every time she gives you a direction, you're pulling down into it. And you have never been this erratic in your driving through London before. That you're actually in areas of London you do not recognise, but there's a confidence in the way that she is saying, do this, go under here, go over there, go over this bridge, and you are following it to the letter until finally you come up towards what looks to be a parking multi-story, and she goes, pull in here.
I'll do as I'm told.
And then she hands you a £5 note.
Oh, thank you. For the parking, seemingly. I'll go in.
Okay. Yeah. Barrier opens and you drive in.
£5 in London. Wow.
And then
20 years
you
ago.
begin going into the first level, and there's loads of spaces, and she goes, not here. And you begin ascending. And then on the next floor there are more spaces, not here. and you ascend again. Finally, when you come to the third space, you get there.
Okay, I'll park.
Okay. And you put up into an area which is relatively shadowed. And although there are windows looking out upon London, you are in a position where you can't be readily seen from any particular rooftop. It's at such a height that anybody on neighbouring roofs would not be able to see your car. And then as you pull in, she stops, she undoes her seatbelt, and then she turns and looks at you. I haven't met you yet.
No, I don't think we've met before, which really only makes us all the stranger. But thank you for getting us away from them. I must say it was much easier with those instructions.
Danielle.
Danielle, Benjamin, nice to meet you.
Are you?
Yes?
Okay. Out of interest, you know Edmund?
Well, yes. Can you give me a little bit of context for this conversation? I don't do this sort of thing normally, I'm afraid. I'm a little out of my comfort zone.
No, that's understandable. Is there any way I can make you more comfortable while we have this discussion?
Well, just some idea of. I'm very grateful for your assistance. Just perhaps, why you're helping me and what's going on and what that was on the rooftop and that sort of thing, just so I know where I am and where we stand and that you don't mean me any harm, that sort of thing.
No, not at all.
Oh good, that's good to hear.
Okay, well, I suppose I'll begin. Basically, we're kin.
Oh, we're kin?
Yeah.
Does she, when I say that, does she look particularly pale or gaunt or do it?
Yes, she does.
Okay.
And she's not breathing. Now that you're close enough, you can see that she's not breathing.
Oh, right. Oh, hello. Yes. Oh, that makes sense. And you know Edmund?
I do, yes. He was a mentor of mine for a while, and then he left the city. I was looking after his galleries for him while he wasn't here. It's not really something that I took much of an interest in, but it's, I appreciated what he had done for me. And then when you came back, I saw you at court, but I didn't have much of an opportunity to say anything.
I see. So you're an artist, or
No. By kin, I mean the same clan.
Oh my goodness! Oh, this is actually quite exciting because I've not actually met any other people from my clan apart from Edmund. So, right, good.
So the other questions, sorry, what were they?
So you used to work for Edmund. Well, you looked after his galleries for him, and he helped you in the early years of this life?
He mentored me. My own sire was put to death.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, he didn't follow the rules.
Yes.
So Edmund tutored me and educated me. Explained to me the options that were open to me, and in response, when he left London, I just custodian, I suppose.
Oh right, good. And were you just coming to visit? Did it just the timings just happened to be? I'm very glad you turned up when you did. It's just it's quite a coincidence, the whole.
Not really. I've been looking for you for a while.
Oh right.
It's hard to explain. Do you know, like, when you have a feeling of not deja vu?
But I do know that feeling.
No,
yes.
I mean, it's not like that. It's not like with pictures. It's more like I feel what other people will feel. It's almost like there was I felt once as though there was an incredible pressure on me, and then somebody that I know had been crushed to death, things like that. And I got that sensation when I saw you in court. Not the crushing sensation.
No.
But, more of the gutting variety.
Oh my goodness, this is such a relief. This is such a relief to talk to you because recently I had well, with me it's not a sensation. It was I saw it. I saw some of my friends. Well, one of them having his head ripped off, and another one having someone put their hands through his chest. And well, the thing is, when you tell people things like this, they just don't understand. They don't. Well, most people.
Edmund says it's because we're a bit more perceptive.
Yes.
Although if you ask the other clans, it's because we're crazy.
Do you know, I had heard that just recently, and I was quite offended because we're not crazy. We're just. I think the thing is that when people can't see and experience the things we can, they don't understand. Oh, it's so nice to meet you, Danielle. This is, oh goodness. And to think I could have been got by those. What was that on the roof?
I don't know. I just know that.
It gave me a horrible feeling. Horrible.
Well, I don't. It's really hard. I can't tell whether or not it's something that you're due to experience. I mean, I don't even know whether or not this is the instance where it was supposed to have happened.
That is the difficult thing. I suppose with feelings, it's hard to know exactly. Yes, that must be very disorienting.
Less so than you think. I think, but it's more. I don't know. I just knew that it was. I just knew who I was when I felt those sensations.
So you knew it would happen to me. And these sensations are. Did you say tearing or something like that?
A gutting.
A gutting. Ooh.
I felt my intestines being pulled out.
Oh dear. Well then, I'm very, very glad that you found me when you did. Now, well, I think this was a good place that you took us to. I'm just wondering what to do now because, well, it's that at some point the sun's going to come up, and well, this probably isn't the place to be when that happens.
Well, we could always. To be honest, I haven't thought this far ahead.
Oh well, I mean, it's not the sort of thing you plan for, really, is it? I mean,
well, we should.
Yes, we should. Right, we should come up with a good, detailed plan. I like it.
There was somewhere actually that we could go. There was someone that I used to know that lives close by. I'm pretty certain that we could get in, unless he's changed his jobs. He works early hours. Well,
I have a place. It's just a matter of getting there without being spotted.
Well, if are you happy for me to join you? It's not normally something that's done.
Oh, right. No, I suppose normally we keep these things secret, I suppose.
I mean, it's your call. If
you have, I think, just saved my life, though. I mean, that does count quite a bit, and you know it.
Well, unless it happens later on today, then I've kind of not saved anyone's. In fact, I've condemned my own.
Yes, that would be a terrible turn of events if that was to be the case. Well, it depends. Do you have somewhere to stay? I suppose that's my question.
I do, but I'd rather not lead them there.
No, that's the thing. I'm concerned about leading them to where I'm going to sleep. That's the thing.
Is there anywhere else that we can go?
Well, if we can leave without them knowing, then it doesn't matter. We can go there. That's the thing. It's not being seen is the trick. Because if they see us, it doesn't matter where we go. They'll follow us, won't they?
I suppose.
Do you think they knew that you were there? Because if they were following me, they're not looking for you. Do you think you will be able to see if they're still out there?
Well, I don't know what they are. I don't know who they are.
No, I don't know either. I caught a glimpse of a silhouette. They were on the roof.
I'm assuming they're not mortal if there was intestinal pulling.
All I know is that my coterie, where I was staying, told me that I had to leave immediately and that it was extremely dangerous. That's all I really know.
Can't you stay with the Toreador?
Stay with the Toreador?
Sorry. Malkavian? Don't you know anybody else in the clan?
Well, no, like I said, you're the only Malkavian that I've met that isn't Edmund. Well, I mean, I've seen the
What about
Primogen.
Edmund?
What, stay with Edmund? I could. I just was worried about leading whatever this is to Edmund. That was all. But I
It seems like we're going to run a risk wherever we go, and the longer we stay here.
So maybe we could go to Edmund, because Edmund knows you, and that will. Do you think?
Yes.
All right. Then let's do that. We'll go to Edmund.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready? I'll
And you
drive.
begin pulling away. Meanwhile, Jim, you wait on the outside of Benjamin's building, waiting for somebody to come out. But there is no movement. Whoever resides here is... They're either inside or they're not coming back. It's getting now to the point where it's about 2 o'clock, approaching 2 o'clock. It's running a bit later than you feel comfortable not knowing where you're going to reside. What do you want to do? You do also look minorly suspicious that you're just standing outside of an apartment building, staring at a door and waiting for people to come out, which would occur to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the phone and I'm gonna call Ben.
Okay, you begin pulling out of the parking lot, making your way down the multi-story, and just as you're turning towards the barrier, waiting so that you can, because it's just occurred to you, you've not paid for a ticket yet, and just as you are about to pull in somewhere to go and get your ticket, bzzzt, bzzzt,
Pull in and stop the car, and then I'll check my phone.
She checks hers.
Is it ringing?
No, hers isn't. Yours is.
Okay. I'll say hello. Hello.
Ben?
Oh, Jim. Hello.
Yep.
What? Are you all right? Everything was very scary, and I was being followed. I think I might still be being followed by something. It's very strange on a rooftop.
Yeah.
And we don't think it's mortal.
Well, I don't currently have anywhere else to sleep at the moment. It's getting a little late in the evening.
Right.
Currently, I'm outside yours. As we had the discussion earlier, I'd rather not.
You'd rather not cause any property damage. I think this is an important step, Jim. This is wonderful.
Yes, I'd rather not, and as well as if you are choosing to come here, I can.
Well, the thing is, I was being followed, and I didn't want to lead them to my home. But actually, we were about to go to Edmund's. Actually, I'm not convinced. I don't know. I could try and speak to him, but I don't know how he will respond. He's quite particular about people he doesn't know turning up unannounced and wanting to stay. You know? You understand how it can be.
I understand.
Well, let me think. So, in terms of where we are, I don't even know if Benjamin knows where he is exactly, but like where I'm in relation to things like the gallery.
You have no idea.
I'll say, hold on a moment. Hold the line, Jim. Hang on. I'll cover the phone and say to him, do you know where we are?
No.
That's going to be a problem. The only thing is, Jim, I have no idea where I am. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to you. Do you think it will be possible for you to get into my flat without breaking anything?
I can certainly try. However, I can't promise anything.
Well,
I'd rather not be standing out here any longer.
I think that all right. So if you have no other option, I would much prefer it that you not break anything. And obviously, whatever you do not kill anyone on my doorstep, please, or alert the police or anything like that. If you can promise that, if a lock gets damaged, I'll get over that. All right? Just promise me no one dies and there are no police.
Okay. I should be able to promise you that.
Good, wonderful. I'll take it. I might come back at some point if I find out where I am and I can lose this tail.
Yeah, and if you come back, I'll fill you in on what the others the others inform me.
Is there anything I should know about this thing following me that's not human and very scary that you know, or do you not know either?
I know enough to know not to discuss it over the phone.
Oh my goodness, yes. Well, that was a wonderful chat. Haha, isn't that wonderful? Well, bye.
He ain't coming back.
I'll say to Danielle, I completely lost all sense of sensible things to say on a phone. Sorry. It's just
I did that for a while.
It's just all it gets to me sometimes when all this. I mean, what? No one told me that there was going to be this going on. I just thought it was going to be quietly painting. That's all. That's all I was told.
Well, I mean, most of the time it doesn't kind of. There's not many consequences unless you anger you're discovered by the society or something similar. But
Society? What's that?
Oh, Edmund's not told you. Then I'll leave it to him. I'd rather not.
Oh no, of course, no. He should do it in his proper time. Of course, I'll ask him about it.
Long story short, just don't mention ridiculous things over the phone.
Yes, of course. Yes. Right. Oh, one last question, ST. I'm assuming that when I saw the silhouette on the rooftop, it didn't chime any, it's... as in the thing on the rooftop did not seem like another thing that is following me around. It felt like something. Okay, cool.
Okay. Jim, you hang up your phone. What do you want to do?
I'm trying to figure out if there's any way for me to get in here without breaking anything and as quietly as possible.
It's difficult for a building like this. There's not a fire escape, but there is a fire exit onto the first floor. You get the feeling that this building's probably should have one. Probably it doesn't. At least not that you can see. The adjacent building does. So you could, in theory, get up there and make your way over the top, but it would require making the hop to the other side of the building.
How far is the hop?
Good standard distance, so you're probably looking at between 2+ meters.
And
it's a drop if you miss.
I am going. Does it look like there's anyone really around on the street?
There are people moving back and forth. There's not loads of people. Most people that are coming to this area are here to sleep, or are.
Then I'm going to go up that fire escape from the other building. I'm going to have a look at the roof. See how flat it is.
The roof is pretty flat. There's not much in the way. You could make a running jump, in which case I'd need a strength plus athletics roll from you.
Then I will back him as far as I can. Hope Wish I could do that thing that Moses can with his legs and run and jump.
Okay.
Not bad.
Is that a magic critical?
No, it's not. Don't worry.
Okay. You back up, steady your feet, and then the moment that you're confident that there's no one that's going to see you on the ground below, you dart towards the end and fling yourself, and just cartwheeling arms fly across this small gap and land solidly on the other side, having cleared a decent distance onto the other side.
Superhero landing.
Gravel in the fist. So yeah, you got clear on the other side, and there is a door that you can use to get in. It is shut. You could probably try forcing it open. It's going to be less obvious that it's been tampered with than the front door, but it's something that you can consider. Or you could just wait up there.
Take me, son.
How long should it about be till sunrise?
Now it's coming after 2:00, so you've got 4 hours or so.
4 hours. And I'm going to for the next 2.5 hours just kind of keep a watch over the rooftop, see if there's anything that may have followed me.
Okay.
And just keeping hidden.
Okay. Wits plus awareness.
Wits plus awareness.
Christian?
No.
It's just 0 successes.
Okay.
So.
Do you have no willpower?
I have. I'll spend 1 willpower to reroll the single dice I have available to that.
Hey! Yay!
I got one.
Once.
Okay.
Fingers.
From this perch, it's unfamiliar. You are not used to this area of the city. It's not like your haven where you know each of the streets at a glance. This one is alien to you. And glancing around at the different people wandering down below and the alleyways and the lights and the cars passing by, it's hard for you to kind of know where to focus on the different ways that someone could approach this building. And you are pretty high up, but not so high up that people couldn't be watching you from another building top. It is pretty exposed. His building's just not one of the highest ones there. And as you're glancing around, you are not confident that if you have been followed, that you would be able to tell. It's difficult for you. Meanwhile, at the Chantry...
Back where civilized people live.
Yes. I'm assuming that you've taken Sabine up on her offer and began drinking?
Yes, she would have found somewhere to feed.
So the amount that you would have taken would have dropped you by 1.
Okay.
The amount that was on offer, so you can drop down to 2.
Yay.
Okay. What do you plan on doing?
So I think it's been a while since she's had time just to spend here without being given dire threats or impossible tasks. So I think she's just going to almost reacquaint herself with what was her home for a long time. Just walk the corridors, like keep an eye out in case she does pass Will, and to basically probably do like a lazy circuit, just kind of keep herself occupied checking her phone fairly often because she might be a little bit concerned about the rest of her coterie. There is a possibility, and she will probably end up, if not back at the library, I imagine, and probably busy herself she'll probably try and distract herself by starting to do some further reading and research into her own kind of thaumaturgy and stuff, I think.
Okay. You do the rounds going around the Chantry, just kind of... I mean, this place is a maze, not because of the size of it, just because you are still pretty confident these corridors shift in some way. And you're given a stark kind of flashback to the first time you found yourself wandering these corridors.
I'm trying to convince myself that no, this is kind of my place as well now. I don't need to feel uncomfortable about my own home.
And there are acolytes that come around that show you a bit of difference when you're going. You are someone of status, not high status, but you're someone of status. And there's a bit of a difference and a bit of envy there from the lowest levels of the Chantry. Certainly given that you are new, you certainly have elevated a little higher than they have in the time that they've been there. But difference is difference. And as you're making your way through the Chantry, it almost distracts you enough that you don't notice when you pass by Oliver going through the front of the Chantry. And as you note, he moves over towards the front door and pauses and looks back over his shoulder. And the 2 young individuals which originally helped you remove the thin bloods from the car and bring into the Chantry are moving after him, and they're carrying sheets that are draped over something solid that they're carrying over their shoulders, making their way towards the rear exit for the Chantry.
If he does stop and make any kind of recognition, she would probably just say good evening as she passes.
Okay. Do a quick intelligence plus awareness.
Okie dokie. That's 3 successes.
Okay. The things that they are toting out are bodies.
Probably not too surprised. Is it a particularly big body?
Yeah.
Okay,
that they are making their way,
that.
which they are making their way towards the side exit, and he's got his back to you as he is just standing there, erect as Oliver is, and watching them go past.
Trust you to start giggling.
He's making a note.
That's the kind of notes I make. God damn it! Why? He's watching them go past towards the exit, and then he stops and his head twists, and then he looks around towards you, having noted that you are there, and he considers you for a long moment. And it's odd because the usual kind of sneer he affords you, or certainly has afforded you recently, is not there. But there is nothing there at all, and it's as loathsome as it is to admit, there is a part of you that is kind of wounded, I suppose, by the kind of blasé kind of, I don't really
Yeah,
care
at
that
least
you're
have
there.
the courtesy to look pissed off.
Yeah, but I mean, he still considers you, perhaps not with the difference that you've seen, not difference, but the affection that some sires might give to their child. But the way he just looks at you is kind of a mild surprise that you're here. But then, as you say good evening, he just nods and then turns and walks out the door.
I continue on my merry way.
And then you hear more footsteps coming down the stairway, and as you look over towards the stairway going up, you see Will adjusting her coat with a satchel that you've given her, actually, that she is adjusting the clasp on. And then as she stops at the bottom and looks up and sees you, she stops, looks past you towards Oliver, who's waiting at the door and watching her, and then she just lowers her eyes and moves past you towards Oliver. And as he ushers her out, he looks at you one last time. Again, no scorn there, more kind of just double checking, and then he steps out after her, and the door shuts behind him.
I finally let the smile go and just chill for a second. And probably carry on, like now heading probably a bit more straight towards the library at this point.
Okay, is there anything in particular you want to be researching or doing?
I think essentially she's just probably carrying on the sort of thing she would have been working on at the Crossed Hands. It's almost like an ongoing like practice, research, just work that is essentially like her ongoing research at the moment. And yeah, it's kind of getting on with that, just trying to keep useful, trying to remain productive, because I don't think anything drives her mad quite as much as feeling unproductive.
Do me a intelligence plus blood sorcery roll.
I just realised I rolled too many red dice last time. That doesn't happen very often. Let's just take that one.
Or intelligence plus resolve, I'll let you choose which one.
I think that I brought the same. So.
Cool.
That would be 1, 2, 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the kind of idea of a blood sorcery with regards to technology is not outside the realms of possibility. It's certainly something that you're aspiring to, and you feel like you managed to get a decent enough legway, given that there's lots of distractions currently ongoing, but it's not enough to fully distract you from what's going on, and it's certainly not enough for you to feel like you've made any progress, which isn't a surprise.
I think she feels a bit of a frustration that there isn't anywhere that's safely able to be a secure location to have a proper setup where she could be doing a bit more practical experimentation, because every time she starts working on that at the Crossed Hands, something blows up.
I kind of think it's the Crossed Hands, guys. So yeah, you managed to start making the headway into that. It's not a massive leaps and bounds, and to be honest, it's more just refreshing yourself on old notes. Yeah. Notes that you've not really committed yourself to since giving more of a focus towards Will and helping her trying to recover from how you originally found her. And your focus has been divided, and now in reflection, you think that there should be part of you that, robbed of your ghoul, you should be able to focus more on a single thing, but it's weird in that it's the opposite. And as you're wandering on that, you continue just going over your notes, and your room that you are in is just as not necessarily barren, but it feels uncomfortable by comparison to your place in the Crossed Hands.
There's no beanbags.
There's no beanbags, and there's probably no gaming consoles or anything similar out there. But there is a familiarity to it. It's just not a comfortable familiarity, and you settle yourself back into your work. Okay, Moses.
Do I get to my super?
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't take you too long to get back there. I mean, it's not a quick jaunt, but it's not as long as you thought it was going to be. And before too long, you managed to make your way back. You have no response on your phone. Alicia has not responded.
Oh, no.
But by the time you get back there, with it approaching 3 o'clock, it's kind of there's other concerns that are going on in your mind. You don't know where the rest of your coterie is.
Yeah,
well, they've said where they might be going.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is give Batman and Robin a place so they can. I haven't chosen what to call them, so I'm going to be doing that until something goes like.
At their heart, they're
Tom
always
and
going to be
Jerry or
Rick and
whatever.
Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Sorry.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Okay,
Rick
but
and Morty
it's
from now on.
2001.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as you don't actually say it in character.
Okay, so I tell Rick
us.
I bring Rick and Morty to the place where I would have like Foggy's water bowl and some food or whatever, so they can bathe and or drink or do whatever. Like they have their corner because that is like way away from all the technical stuff. I don't want them biting cables or stuff.
Okay.
I just give them their playground with food.
They seem a bit more familiar with you now. They're not 100% settled with you. You did eat their friends and family. However,
But they
that was
also
like-
do that.
And that was
I
like
know, but
3
that way
generations
it's,
ago.
you know-
that was like 3 generations ago. Like about a month and a half.
these could be strange rats.
Yeah.
You never know. It's World of Darkness rats, baby. They go over towards the water bowl and begin splashing themselves off. The water gets fouled pretty quickly, but they don't look clean. They just look damp and soiled.
But make sure.
They seem to be enjoying it.
I just put it running, keep the water running, so they play there for a while. While I go in, send messages to all 3 of them,
Okay.
saying pretty much, I'm safe. I'm home for the night. How about you guys? And then I start recovering everything that I dumped from the cross hands to my servers to here, to my servers, and I want to piggyback on our CCTV's feed from the cross hands here. I don't have that many monitors, but I want to see what's going on there.
Okay. Intelligence plus technology.
Yeah. So that'll be. Do I get to networks?
Yes.
My haven. Ooh.
That's a pool.
Oh, that's crap.
That is-
Oh,
That is a willpower point. Because it's like a zillion successes, but a messy critical.
Look at his face.
1, 2, 3.
Does this technically mean you are now impaired?
No. Yes.
Yes.
After this. Yes.
Okay.
But you spend willpower like it's something that you spend.
Yeah, but I would rather not have a messy critical in my.
Can you
I mean,
you
prior to
imagine?
now.
Wow.
Eat their rats.
Well, that's 7 successes.
7 successes. Okay, it's
Yeah.
easier for you to cut through on and piggyback onto your other system. And the one thing that becomes that is very clear to you is that the cameras that survey the interior and the exterior, of the building, they are still running, but they are black. And as you are surveying, you go back over the system. I'm assuming you can remote control access it. You go back through the system and you see the part where they step inside through the door. Graham plus Amy. And then as soon as they step inside, they both stop. And Graham looks around and then peers down the corridor where he was peering previously. And then Amy, the moment she steps inside, she stops, looks up from one corner to the next to the other, sees the camera, moves over to it, and then reaches up and you see black.
How do they go in?
Through the front door.
But it was like midnight, and you locked it when you left. So they. Do I have access to the one outside? I want to see if they picked the lock or everything.
Okay. You see, as they go up towards the front door, Graham steps up towards it, glances through the window just to check, and then he moves back out to the front, pulls out a cigarette, and as he's lighting it, just looks up and down as Amy moves forward, and then with herself in front, so you can't quite see, She just puts her hands in, and after a few moments just opens the door, steps aside, and then Graham, with his cigarette still lit, steps inside, stops, and now that's when she starts looking between the corners. With the door shut,
I record all of that.
Yep.
Like I just bring that recording to my hard drives here in the server.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, are you keeping it going?
Yeah.
Okay.
And every time a new camera is put black, I just minimize that and put it on a corner, and then next to it. So I'll be taking feeds and making. I'm gonna make it like a very good visual map of this. This is gonna be like a featured film of Graham and Amy.
Yep.
That I'm gonna share with some other clans.
Okay.
Well,
They begin making their way through, and each of the cameras sequentially goes black. And each and every single time you see Amy move, check corners, and the moment she finds one, she moves up, her hand comes up, and then it goes black.
How long ago was the last camera?
You're probably looking at about an hour ago. Since then, it's still been black.
Okay. Which one was the last camera that went?
The camera. How far into the building did your cameras run? Remind me.
Well, inside the building, common areas, and my room.
Okay.
Like I have like everything because I do keep, especially because of the ghost, I do keep like surveillance of what's going on in my room.
You saw Amy descend down to the stairs, sit herself at your computer after a few moments, and as she started working, and then you saw your screen flash and become active, she stopped, glanced over, saw the camera, got up and moved over towards it. Went black.
Okay, cool. I try to connect with my computer. It shouldn't have anything. I formatted everything. So I just try to see what's there.
Okay. You find that a few of your files have been accessed. Not all of them, but the CCTV footage has all been taken and copied.
From how back ago? Because I took the physical hard drive with the CCTV from the previous 2 nights, because that's where Alicia's face is, and I brought it with me.
But
to
you've
this
archived some of it, haven't you?
Sorry?
You've archived some of it.
It's archived in that physical hard drive. I just put it in a
so there's nothing saved on the computer?
No, well, old CCTV footage probably, but nothing from the last couple. Like from the night Alicia, because I archived it into a hard drive and brought it with me to this haven.
Okay. In that case, CCTV has just been accessed and gone over. The other files that are on there, if they have been looked at, you can't really tell. Okay. It's more just the CCTV footage has been accessed.
Okay, cool.
But with the cameras out and the fact you don't have audio, it's difficult for you to tell anything else.
Okay, I go with Sexy Pearls always online, so you just open an IRC chat. You go, hi there, Sexy Pearl. Quick question and weird one. Who do you know in the jewelry business?
Do I look like someone that wears jewelry? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
No, but you look like the kind of person who would know who sells gold and silver.
No.
I have like a gazillion weird requests, but for now I just need you to hand over some footage to Plucky Jake and have him look at it.
You want me to do another favor?
No, I need you to inform our Primogen that lupines are roaming in our city.
Where?
You get one guess.
If it's in your domain, it's your problem, winky face. There are quotation marks, and then she puts dash, Prince Emrys. And then in brackets, not a direct quote. In brackets.
Yeah, sucks to be me, right?
If you have lupines, yes. Sad face.
I sent her the video anyway. He's like, well, when you find me or my coterie dead, these are the guys who did it. And I sent her like a part of the video where Graham and Amy show.
Who's the guy?
Graham
He's
McEwen.
hot.
Like, must be the beard. You know what? The hot guy is called Graham McEwen, and the lady is called Amy. Could be a lie. I don't know. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'll be making my last will and testament.
Can I have your computer?
Actually, yes, you are in it.
Don't die before you repay my boon. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Don't worry, I'll transfer it to Jim. Winky face. Bye.
I'd rather the Tremere.
Oh.
Deal. Okay, so
Sexy prologues off.
I wait for any of the replies, if any. I
Does
wait
anyone-
for any.
I would probably, as soon as I get a text from Moses, be like, oh shit, yeah, I know.
Yeah, you all were supposed to text me when you got home.
I message everyone just and say safe.
Okay.
I text Katya directly, and I was like, I guess that favor you asked me is gonna have to wait a little bit. Unless you know where she is.
I know where she is. The difficult part is meeting up in private. Anyway, I'm fine. How are you?
Alive. For the time being. Also, lupines are a problem. Brackets, they're in our domain, apparently. And I just keep doing stuff. Like literally, I bring up a couple of documents and stuff, like an email, automated email. It's like, if I don't go online every certain number of days, eventually it'll just send itself. So with like my last will and testament, I will write it down and hand it over to you at some point later.
Okay.
Like this has made me think about the very few precious possessions that I have, and I will write them down.
Okay.
Probably get a reply from me saying, I'm in no rush.
Cool.
Do you two send replies?
Yeah. Jim's going to call Moses. Pick up.
Bzzzt.
Put it in the speakerphone. Very late 90s. Enter on the speakerphone. Yes.
I'm glad that you're safe. That you're safe. To be confirmed whether I am currently, but hopefully.
Where are you?
Doesn't matter. I doubt you can give me a hand with this, but thanks for checking in. Do you get? Yeah. You sure no one followed you?
If they did, they're gonna be like really sorry they did.
Alright. Yeah. Alright. Well, hopefully we'll survive this. Well, I'll survive this. You should be fine with your capabilities.
It's okay, I'm already safe and sound.
Yeah.
Are you still hungry?
Yes, and with...
Are you with Benjamin already?
Nope, and on the...
Are you outside the domain?
Yeah. I get glass shots back in a moment.
Feed? Are you trying to feed?
I'm not trying to feed at the moment, although
Keep it like that.
I would like to get this glass out of my back.
Glass out of your... But what are you talking about? Did you break into Benjamin's flat? What would we just had a conversation about not breaking in?
And we will resume.
I just start deleting anything that said Jim, like the entry in my will and testament that said Jim. He gets nothing. Delete.
We will pick up from there after the break, guys. We're going to take a 10-minute, and I will pass you over to the guys so that we can do some.
So, at the risk of making this
pieces.
worse, I feel I should defend my honour on the earlier sniggering point. It's just that we often refer to Oliver as being a bit of a dick. So when Tyler said that he was standing erect, it was like in my head, well, because he's a dick. That's why I laughed. Apologies, everyone. But that's why.
Bring the
He's not sorry. It was hilarious.
I wasn't laughing for any other reasons you may have inferred from that comment.
Do you want to roll a subterfuge check?
No, I don't want to roll a subterfuge check because it was completely honest. We should probably talk. Yeah. So for those of you who weren't here last week, Jenny dropped in to talk about a giveaway that we're going to do for the Vampire the Masquerade core book, and we're all going to sign it and put lovely things in it for you, and she is going to very kindly send it to you should you win. And the way you win is by entering the raffle, and the way you enter the raffle is by subscribing to our Twitch channel. So if you subscribe, that gives you one entry into the raffle. And if you throw bits at us, for every 100 bits, you get another ticket into the raffle. Just to make sure there's no confusion, this started from last session. So if you watched last week and you threw bits at us, for every 100 bits, you got a ticket. If you've thrown any bits at us so far, to 100 bits or more, you will have a ticket as well. If you throw 500 bits, you get 5 tickets. If you throw 100 bits last week and 100 bits this week, you get 2 tickets. So there's no, you won't lose out whenever you do this. And I believe it's the 4th of March, which is going to be the session where we announce the winner. So if you would like a signed copy of the core book, then throw bits at us and subscribe, and you could win. So that's that, yeah?
I believe so.
So we're going to talk relationship, Matt.
Yay!
I'm quite proud.
We're so proud of it.
So we are going to start at the top of the map
With the ghost.
with the ghost, who has been in the game actually for a long time, but we feel they deserve a place. You may have thought on the Board of the Dead, but actually they're in play, so we're going to put them here.
They're just as dead as we are.
Exactly, they're just as dead as we are.
Also, they are in the Board of the Dead, but as the killer of somebody.
Yes, they are also on the Board of the Dead for that. And they're currently nearest to Katia because she's the most keen on establishing contact.
She's the ghost whisperer.
And
Really whisper, isn't it?
then down towards the bottom of the board, you will see we have silver string. Woo! Because we've got lupines. So we have.
Sounds like some kind of.
Why are you excited? How come you say that excited?
Because we are now
we have lupines!
Yeah, I mean,
That's the
honestly,
proper-
well, because, I saved my panic for being in
Oh, the way
character.
you say it sounds like some kind of unpleasant disease.
Nasty case of the lupines, I wouldn't touch it, yeah. So, we've got Graham McEwen, and you can see with beard and everything over here, and we've also got Amy, and they are connected currently to both Jim and Moses. Moses for the Alicia thing, and obviously Jim for the they want to do horrible things to him thing.
You like moving your threads over to his side of the board, don't you?
Sorry?
You like moving your threads to his side of the board.
Yeah. I just met Alicia without me doing anything. She met me. And then apparently that saved my life with Graham, so
We've got 4 different colour strings at the moment, and I've got all of them.
yeah.
It's true, you are winning in the different coloured string competition.
That ain't a good thing, I think.
No, it really isn't.
I didn't know.
Benjamin will get a changeling next week.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No. I don't know, but it sounds cool. So I think that is
That's
that for the board. So we'll and miraculously nothing has been added to the Board of the Dead yet.
Yet. Let's have the yet, otherwise we're going to jinx ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in there.
Like, I have no idea how come none of us are in the Board of the Dead, but on the dead.
Yeah, well, the night is young, or not.
I live at the Chantry now, guys.
Yeah, it's your new home. Do we have any questions from chat this week?
We had one earlier on just in-game chat for wondering what the exact date is of the game.
The date of the game at the moment, Sunday the 10th of June, 2001.
Oh man, I'm going to. Yeah, that's when I go on holiday this year.
Next question from Storina in Code.
Uh-huh.
If you're doing it, as this is a pre-pyramid breakup, or at least I think it is, have you made any modifications to the Tremere Bane, or are you just using the V5 Tremere Bane?
The agreement, I think, is that we've done a kind of adapted the V20 clan Bane into
essentially in the lore of the new V5, it implies that prior to 2008 the clan still suffers from the old Bane anyway. So at the moment the old Bane still stands.
So it's basically just using the rules that are currently in effect and just applying it on the clan-wide level, as it were, and that will remain in effect until the
Jolly
V5 until the V5 clan Bane kicks in.
That's gonna be great.
Yes,
that's gonna be a hell of an episode.
How do you call it? Like the.
So I got a call from Vienna.
So when you.
I do know the word, but I can't think of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one.
That one. When that happens,
that word that we can't remember when that happens.
Escission, when it's like.
Yeah. Like splitting apart.
Yeah, like the splitting apart of the.
There's like a really cool word for it.
Escission, but it's in Spanish.
Schism.
Yeah, escission.
There you go.
It's like a series of unfortunate events all over again.
It's not helpful if I remember it in Spanish and he said it 20 times.
Eddie, any other questions? Or are we good?
Yeah, one other question from Macabre Derek is, does the coterie think the higher ups will handle the lupines? Do they have a plan? They hear LA is nice.
Hey, as long as we don't have to deal with it.
Well, the thing is that my superiors are not gonna interfere unless they ask me for a lot of boons. Apparently, that's what I get from my very recent conversation with Carrion. I don't know about the rest. I think Sabine was thoroughly interested.
I think she liked having information on Alicia.
Yeah.
A potential dodgy relationship.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think Katya's. If no one does anything, I think as far as she's concerned, this is Jim's problem.
Yeah.
I think it's actually very sweet that he asked if we have a plan at all.
It's very.
Yeah,
thank you, Derek.
But Benjamin doesn't even know where he is. Let alone having a plan for the future.
Benjamin has no idea what is after him. He has no idea.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what's going on. Doesn't even know that there are lupines. And even if he did, he wouldn't really know what they were.
He doesn't even know the person who's sitting next to him.
No. Well, she's very pleasant.
Whereas Jim's wondering which one of them did he hit with the damn car?
Yeah.
Because that one's probably going to be the one to pull them apart.
Yeah, look for the one with the dent in their head.
Yeah, the dent's very long gone.
Yeah, I think that's a no on the plan.
No plan. We have no plan.
No.
We have no plan. We're just amazed we made it to the break, to be honest.
We had a plan. The plan was run.
Yes. Executed very, very smoothly.
Well,
it went very well.
My plan went a little deeper than that. It was like call many rats to hide our scents and all of that.
Now
but
you
it
have
was
Rick and Morty.
Well, now I have Rick and Morty, so probably they'll put in the good work with the next batch of rats that I come across. As long as I don't feed off of them.
Was that all the questions?
Yeah, brilliant. So I think that's everything.
I think so. That's everything.
Everything's sorted.
Anyone?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I would say welcome back, but I don't think anyone's left. So we will go straight back into it then, guys. Benjamin.
So I'm driving out of this car park.
You are driving out the car park. You are keeping an eye on the rooftops, just double checking that there is nobody there. I mean, there is a sense of paranoia that has been building, and it's, in a weird way, it's made even more. You're made even more paranoid by the fact that Danielle doesn't seem to be looking towards the rooftops. More, she is just kind of looking ahead, and every now and again she's looking at you in the rearview mirror, not in a kind of uncomfortable way, but it's like she's double checking that of something.
Okay. I'll say, do you have any idea where we are? Because depending on where we are will probably depend on where we go, you see.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Right, well, let's have a little look and see if we recognise anything. So I'll have a look at some of the streets and I'll say, it was all such a rush when you came, and it was all so exciting. I didn't really... Well, I got a bit lost, to be honest.
Okay. Intelligence plus streetwise.
God.
Right, you're a smart cookie.
This is going to determine.
It's just all on hungers. Nothing. I've got nothing.
Total failure.
Total failure, nothing.
I mean, there's being lost in a city, and then there, you could be in a different city in a different country, and you would not be able to tell because this is so unfamiliar to you in terrain.
Motel episode.
I'll say I have no idea where we are. I mean, none. I've got no idea. No idea. I wouldn't even know which direction to try and head in. What are we going to do?
I don't know. I mean, do we have a backup plan for where we're going to sleep?
I've got an idea. There's a map in the glove compartment. You could look at we'll stop somewhere. And you could look up where we are, and I'll keep an eye out. And if something comes on a rooftop, I'll just pull away.
Okay. So she reaches around and grabs the map and unfurls it, and in a kind of Okay. And as you approach one of the streets, you have a glance, try and find a street name, and then this is the street name.
I'll pull over somewhere.
Okay, so you.
But I'll be keeping an eye out in case there's something.
Okay, wits plus awareness.
I've got heightened senses for this, FYI.
Okay.
Now that we've pulled over.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. You cannot see anybody that's taking any particular interest in your car. There's people now and again that kind of glance into your car as she's there trying to juggle this quite a wide map, trying to find their...
The ordnance survey.
That are kind of just glancing in as they go past, but there's no one up on the rooftops. If they are still following you, it's unlikely they're still to be up there, which doesn't actually make you feel any better, to be honest. And your attention goes from the rooftops all of a sudden to the streets, and every person that goes by, you're watching.
How are you doing with that map? I don't really like sitting here like this. It feels very exposed.
I can't remember. I'm not sure where this... You have it, and she pushes the map over towards you.
All right, I'll have a look at the street.
Okay, make another intelligence plus streetwise plus what?
Get an extra one.
I know. Just all these hunger dice scare me. Oh,
Great, that's beautiful.
That's loads.
A 5.
5. 5 is loads.
Okay, the moment the map's handed to you, it's like, oh, it's here. And then she leans over and goes, oh, I must have been holding it the wrong way. And you hand it back to her, and the moment that you pointed it out to her, she immediately goes, right turning here, and then you begin...
Do I think we are closer to Edmund's, my flat, or... Well, and I'll say, are we very far from that place you suggested? I just want to see what's the nearest place for us to go to.
Based upon the map, you are closer to Edmund's. You're still going to be cutting it close.
Edmund's then.
Okay, so you begin making your way, pulling out, and as she directs you, it's not a direct route, and it's quite nerve-wracking because you're already cutting it close. But she doesn't seem to want to take a direct route there now that she knows it. And you are, if it wasn't Edmund, maybe there'd be a bit more of a kind of no, let's just go straight there.
Yeah,
but it's Edmund. You want, safety's paramount.
Yeah.
So you make your way over towards the gallery, and as the aching starts to set in, not the lethargy, but the aching, the earliest sign that you have, you pull up towards the familiar street which leads onto Edmund's gallery, and you can see it off in the distance like a beacon of light and hope. And you're making your way down the street, weaving your way over towards an area where you can pull in, and you pull into your usual spot and stop, and she immediately gets out of the car.
Yeah, I'll get out. I will text this lot to say safe.
Okay.
And then I will, go with Danielle towards Edmund's gallery.
Okay. The lights aren't on. It's clearly in a state of dormancy. And as you go up towards the front, predictably the doors are locked.
Go to the side door.
Okay. You make your way...
Cautiously though.
She watches as you kind of slow, and then just watches you move up towards the side door, and you peek around the corner. There is no one residing there.
Oh, good. You know that business you had with me about knowing something was going to happen?
Yes.
Something's going to happen outside this door one day.
What kind of thing?
Someone's going to be here, someone very bad. Not a specific person though, not the one I think that was following us. But they're not here today, that's the most important thing.
Okay. Well, as long as they're not here now.
Oh, they're not here now?
You don't think it's the person that's following you?
No. Well, a different person that's following me. It's confusing. Not the one on the rooftop though, not that one.
What a hectic life you must lead.
I know, and I'm really not trying to have a hectic life. I'm trying to have a very quiet life. But I seem to be very unfortunate when it comes to the environment that I've been placed in.
Okay. Well, you first. I think he's...
Yes, probably for the best. So I'll go to the side door. Knock. Knock again. Oh, that's odd. He's normally here.
Is this his haven? I thought this was just his gallery.
Oh no, I think it's just his gallery. But, well, we need a place to stay.
What do you want to do?
So, judging on the time, there isn't time to get anywhere else, is there really?
No. At this point, you are between 4 and 5 o'clock.
I'll say, I think we just have to go in. I mean, I don't see what else to do. Or there's we can't get anywhere else in time.
I'm sure he'll understand if you're...
Yes, I'm sure too. I'm sure he'll understand, it'll be fine. Alright, okay. So have a look at this door.
It's a basic fire escape.
Do I think it's going to be rigged to like the fire department? Like, as in, is there a chance that if I force this door, it's going to send an alarm and call the fire brigade? I mean,
potentially. I mean, you could try breaking in through either the front or through one of the windows, or...
Is there a window that's somewhere that's not so easily observed in case I don't want to...
I mean, further down, past the fire escape and turning around to where the bins are kept, you could go there.
Yeah, try that.
Because most of Edmund's staff work long hours, there is a kitchen on site.
Yeah, I'll try and get in that way.
Okay. We will say...
So I will say to her, I don't suppose you were any good at, you know, getting into places discreetly, are you?
No.
Right, well, I guess I'll have a go then. Right, fine. No, it's all fine. All right, here we go. No problems, it'll all be fine. Glance nervously towards the sky and then have a...
Yeah, it's greying. It's not so black anymore. Right. It's quite unsettling.
Let's do it.
Okay, so it's dexterity plus larceny.
Okay.
Please don't get killed by the sun. That would be anticlimactic as hell.
You guys laugh. It would be a Benjamin way to go though.
Yeah. You're still finding a skeleton upright
Not
like this.
today.
Not today, people.
Cool.
Not on my watch.
Okay. As you pull out I'm trying to think what you'd have on you.
Well, I have got what's his name?
Jim's knife. Yeah. The knife that was given to you by Jim.
Yeah.
You pull it out and you wedge it in underneath the window, and it's a nice wooden one, and it seems a shame to kind of scratch it. But then as you glance up towards the sky, you look around and just slam the handle with your palm with enough force that the blade goes in between the wedge, and you hear the wood crack and splinter, and you see it pucker around the knife, but then it separates from the latch, and you wedge your fingers underneath, decide it's not enough, push down on the knife to create a wider opening, put your fingers underneath, and as she moves next to you, and you both begin to shimmy the window up, giving you just enough room that you could kind of crawl in.
So that was actually much easier than I thought it would be.
You seem very practiced at this.
Well, yeah, not really. And then I'll climb in through the...
Okay,
through the window.
So she begins shimmering after you, and then grabs the window and just begins pulling it down. She takes the knife, kind of turns it over, and then hands it back to you.
First time I've used it. I'll put it away.
And she looks around the gallery, because you are close to where the main exhibit is. Not right in the same room, but you can see it through the open door. And she looks in, and there's a kind of long moment as she kind of surveys it as though for the first time. Or maybe it's just very different from how it was when she went in. And then as she steps through the door, she stops.
Is everything all right?
Yes.
Are you sure? You're not being very convincing, if you don't mind me saying so. I mean, if there's something that you think you should tell me, I mean...
No, I just feel... hollow. Oh, it'll be fine.
Do you mean hungry?
No. No.
Oh,
No,
right.
hollow.
I feel a little bit hungry. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, so we should find a place that's not got any windows.
Okay,
And somewhere discreet.
Well, I'm assuming that he still keeps some of the art down in the basement.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Let's go to the basement. That's a good idea. Let's go to the basement.
Okay. Yeah, lead on. I feel like if there's going to be a trespass, it's better coming from his child than first than a kinmate.
Yes, right. All right. Yes, that seems reasonable given how you've been so helpful. Right, here we go. And I'll go down towards the basement.
Okay. Roll a wits plus insight for me.
Wits plus insight. Yeah. 1.
Okay. Yep. So you begin making your way back down towards the basement, and it's not locked. It's quite a stuck door. It's not used that much, but it does manage to open. And what's inside is very dimly lit by the light when you flick it on, and there is no open windows that go into here.
Okay.
But we'll pick back up with you in a moment. So, Jim, from atop your perch, still looking around at your surroundings, you cannot spy anybody else that takes your immediate notice. But as the minutes begin going on, it becomes immediately apparent to you, based upon how the very slow onset of the aches that you get in your joints, that this is not somewhere you can risk staying.
I'm going to very quickly text to Benjamin. Going in now. We'll do best to do as asked.
Okay. Are you going back down street level, or are you trying to go through the fire exit?
Fire exit at top.
Okay. Strength plus athletics.
Strength plus athletics. There's no way to try and stealthily open it.
No, it's a fire exit. You're on the other side of it. There's one way to get that door open, and that's to pull it off.
Can I reply to his text, or is it not?
Yeah.
I'm going to text back, you promise.
That is 4 successes.
Nice.
And that is the first skill that's come up on the dice for me.
That's fine. That's a good time to get it, though.
Yeah.
4 successes.
4 successes too.
Okay. You reach forward and grab the door. I can let you succeed at a cost.
What would the cost be?
You will suffer injury in doing so.
Just another day for Jim.
Well, if anyone's going to freaking suffer it, how much injury?
I guess it's one day.
This is going to hurt. Alright, I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, you suffer the injury, not the property. Remember. Yeah.
That's right.
You put your fingers into the gap, and it is not a wide gap. It's difficult for you to get a bearing, but you try and get it from the points where you can get the most leverage and begin pulling, and it's not going. So you reset your feet, adjust your position, and begin pulling even more. And you can hear the groaning as the latch that's embedded itself into the door frame is being pulled. The actual material of the door is not being stretched, but that is what is being tested. And as you get your fingers in, you pull harder and harder and harder, and you pull with such force and vigor that it catches you across the front of your face, and your nose, which you've only recently reset, is broken again from the sheer force of you pulling it free. You will take a point of superficial because you only missed it by 1 point. And the door swings open, you hear the as it hits the wall and then just opens slowly next to you. Still slick with the spittle of your jaw and your nose, but there is an opening.
In his nose.
In your nose and in the door.
For fuck's sake. Door, try and close
No,
it.
you should have said for fuck's sake, Jim.
I was waiting for him to say, for fuck's sake, me.
You pull the door.
Is there any way I can try and close it at all?
You can try and force it shut, but it does mean if there is a fire, no one's getting out.
It's alright, Jim likes fire.
Benjamin might not.
I can look and go back.
Okay. and it wedges itself right in after the third pull. The first time it doesn't go. The second time you try again. The third time you're just pissed. And you pull it and it finally goes, locks in place. But then when you try pushing it, it's not moving. And you can actually see the part of the metal where it's embedded itself slightly into the door frame. It's quite clearly been forcibly, not just forcibly forced into, which is a commendable feat in itself, but it's been pushed with a lot of force to wedge it in as strongly as it has.
Fuck. Just a little weak.
Is not gonna be happy about that.
Well, you broke your promise.
He fucking knows. I'm gonna slip down to its apartment and try to slip in.
Okay. How are you trying to break into his room? Your lockpicks are broken. You broke them in Moses' door.
Yeah. No, it looks like you've got several picks, so I could try a different pick, which one may not be as effective at it.
It won't be as effective, but you can try.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay. Dex plus lastly.
Dex plus lastly. And I will. Oh no. 2.
Okay. It's a pretty standard lock, and you do manage to jimmy it. And more miraculously, you manage to jimmy it without leaving anything other than scratches around the door knob, which, you know, is a marvel for you. It's probably something he's going to notice. It's probably something that's going to bother him immensely. But you managed to get in without busting the lock, which is more miraculous. And you step back into Benjamin's room and close it just as that tension in your muscles begins heightening, becoming less of an ache and more of a heaviness which is slowing you down.
I'm going to close the door. Any inside locks, I'll lock. If I see a chair, I'll jam it under the handle. Then I'll look, make sure rooms or other room I can sleep in is secure. Sunlight won't get in.
Okay.
And then the door to that room, share into that one as well.
Okay. You managed to get yourself into the bathroom, which at this point, without going intimately through his room and through his abode, excuse me, is, you know, you don't have a lot of time and you are feeling the effects of the oncoming dawn. So you managed to break away into the bathroom, lock it, and then drop yourself down into the bathtub before you I mean, you're not asleep yet, you are still alert, but you feel lethargic.
I'm gonna go quick message. Me too.
Okay.
As I look back and go, remembering like quite a while ago, thinking of how the hell did this go this way?
Meanwhile, Katya, anything else you want to do?
I think the last thing she would do, and she would probably take this back to her kind of her old room, where she's probably just set her things, like the books that were her own she's brought from the crossed hands. She's probably lined up nicely. The punnets of spiders that were in her satchel, she's probably stacked those up, trying to make it seem a little bit more homely. She would like to, I guess, take a book for some pre-torpor reading. She wants to look up how one might speak to the departed but present. She's kind of curious. Do Ouija boards actually work in World of Darkness?
Do intelligence plus occult.
I know the answer. You just pray.
I'm sorry, she's too much of an atheist for that.
Do you want us to actually get you a Ouija board here?
Ouija.
I'm pretty sure one of us would have access to one.
Apparently she doesn't know very much. That's one success.
I mean, you can recall some of the discussions going on. The primary go-to for the Kindred, where it comes to ghosts and similar, are the clan of necromancers. But that is also somewhere where you probably don't really want to go if it's not a massive problem.
No, she wants to kind of handle it herself if there's a way just to talk.
Other than that, I mean, if you go by the kind say in terms of their kind of claims of how they've communicated, you could always go with the Ouija board. You can go with seances, something similar. But in terms of a method that you know 100% is going to work,
Nothing solid. Okay.
Anything else you want to do before?
No, I think she just carries on reading until she probably just falls asleep in the book.
Okay. Anything you want to do, Moses?
And take care of Lucy. To Katya, I leave my GameCube and this new Spider-Man game.
Oh man.
Plus the beanie.
Aw, nice.
But you have to take care of 2 rats that I am having trouble naming right now. I just... The camera. Who's out? Who's knocking?
You can see what looks to be 2 figures in hoodies outside the door.
Finish that wheel.
Basically, if I don't log in tomorrow, no, in the next 5 days, send all of this information that I just wrote. Come in. Also, the Lupins kill me. And then you go like, okay.
Did you say come in or coming?
Coming.
Okay.
Because they cannot open it from the outside. Who is it?
You gonna leave me standing out here, or you gonna open the door?
What's that voice?
It's familiar, but you're not sure through the door.
Okay, I'm gonna open the door, but beware. I smell like shit when I get killed.
I can smell it through the door. Will you just open the door, please?
Okay. I just walk back and hit the pad.
Moving past you into the room and pulling down the hood is Alicia. And as she steps past you...
That actually does not bring me any comfort, makes me more worried.
Yeah. And the young woman that walks past you as well still has the hood up. Mm-hmm. Recognised from blonde, the blonde locks on the side of the face, Sarah, who steps in with Alicia. And then the moment that the door is shut, Alicia turns around to Sarah, wipes something off of Sarah's face, and then turns to you.
Was that blood?
You couldn't see. She had it back to you. She just...
Is Sarah pale?
No. Where can I sleep?
I'm looking at Sarah. What's her reaction to my face?
Your face? Are you wearing your normal face?
Well, yeah, I was not expecting her to bring a human. So
at the moment, Sarah's got her back to you as she's gone past.
Oh, if I have the chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
She hasn't seen your face yet. She's literally come in.
You just want to make me hungry. I just know it. It's okay. It's okay. I just go massive thousand faces.
Okay.
It's like, is she staying here as well?
She is wherever I'm going. Where can I stay?
Here, but it's gonna be a tight fit.
That's fine by me.
Also, what the fuck with Graham?
Do you really want to have that discussion now?
Tomorrow, first thing, and don't leave before I wake up. Please.
You're getting awfully forceful, Moses.
I just go, please. Like, I have a lot of questions.
Where can she sleep?
I do have a place for her. Because not too far from here. When I hear like keys and the address, my condo is like literally not.
Oh no, she's staying here with us.
Oh, here? Yeah.
But where can she sleep?
Oh yeah, in the area that is not like completely locked out from the sun. So yeah, there's an area there. I just get her like a sleeping bag or something that I might have.
So she turns around and then places her hands on the shoulders of Sarah, who kind of looks at her, and she's, You heard him, sweet thing. And then she walks off, still kind of uncertain for where she is. She seems a little skittish, but Alicia just watches her go. And the moment that she's out of earshot, she turns around and says,
Well, inside the train, the wagon. That's
she takes her hoodie off and starts making her way towards it.
Yeah,
is there a lock on this door?
Yeah, on the outer and on the inner one, both of them.
Strong lock.
Well, yeah, as strong as I could find it.
She winks at you, steps in, shuts the door, and then she opens it again. I don't know how hungry you are, but if she is not 100% when I wake up.
Hang on a second, we both need to... That's the only place that is blocked out from the sun. We're sleeping in the same place.
In you come.
Dude, I go in.
She pushes the door and begins locking it.
Yeah, and I just hit for the panels to block it, like the metal sheets on the wagon.
Okay. She goes and sits down with her back to the door, her hands in the pockets of her hoodie, which is still open, and she just stares at you until she stops moving.
Oh well, I just go to the proper bed and lay down.
She stays where she is.
And I cover myself with the sheets.
And then nothingness claims you. Benjamin, meanwhile, in the heart of your sanctuary, this safe haven that you've known so well.
Yes.
You descend down into the basement.
Yes.
And you are moving through these articles that are all there. And you can see bits and pieces that you've seen on display before, you've seen from different things that aren't currently there, but they change all the time.
Yeah.
And then you come into the end chamber, which is a little rectangular stone space.
Yeah.
And just at the centre of it is that vase that you've seen before. Other than that, you can see a few items of your pieces. You can see the one that was destroyed by Edmund, which is kept in a pile that's over on the edge. It's your eye is drawn towards it as you kind of note it with that kind of and then what do you want to do?
So this seems pretty safe from the point of view of the sun.
Yeah, there is no
I guess
sunlight.
shut everything behind us. Are there, assumably some of the paintings have like drapes or things covering them.
Yeah.
So if there are any spare ones, I'll pick one up, but if not, I'll take one off one of the pictures or one of the statues, one of the bigger ones, and then find somewhere as tucked away in a corner of this place as I can, and then cover myself with one of these sheets and scrunch up small against the wall or...
Okay. As you're moving around and you grab your sheets, Danielle hasn't moved. She's standing at the centre of the room, again, gripping herself and then wearing a grimace as though she's deeply in pain and uncomfortable.
I'll say, Daniel, we should really get ourselves, what if a member of staff came down in the day and...
And she turns and she stares at the urn. And then she looks at you. And she steps back towards the corridor and then sits herself there and just stares at you for a while and then just pulls her coat up and then just leans over and begins going dormant.
Okay. Well, that's brave of her. I'm getting out of sight and tucked away somewhere just in case.
Okay. Did you want to do anything in Benjamin's before, now that you are locked in this bathroom? Is there anything else you needed to do?
Before you die.
Just so you say, you can't say I haven't given you a chance.
I'm joking. Yeah. I'm going to check the phone to see after I've sent the message saying after they've sent up that I'm safe, that Me Too has gone to go around, see if anyone's sent any reply, and then just lay back in the bath.
It's an uncomfortable fit, but eventually it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, and just remember the first sleep I had and thinking, what the hell has happened?
And the last thing you see before everything just stops functioning is white porcelain. And then nothing. I need a roll from everybody. A rouse check, please.
A rouse check. Oh, I really hope I pass this.
Yes!
No.
Yes!
No!
I haven't passed a rouse check in weeks.
3.
3 from me.
3.
It's my first time in at number 4.
What? First time out?
No, you've been at 4 before.
No.
Haven't you?
I'm always really careful, but this has been a unfortunate series of events.
I actually beat the shit out of us. That's what happened.
Okay.
So, some might say that are not my fault at all.
Okay.
Oh, I'm bitter.
Yay. No.
Moses. You and Katia are I believe, the first ones to awaken. And Katia, to you, this place, immediately you feel that panic well up in you as you don't recognise where you are. But it takes a few moments for you to kind of remember the events of the previous night, for your brain to suddenly reanimate and catch up, and then you settle back into yourself, and you feel the beast inside stirring with you, and it's uncomfortable. It always is, but it's not to the extent now where you feel pressed that you need to be doing stuff, that you need to have something. Moses, as you wake, you come to and glance around where you are, and immediately you feel that kind of panic tension building up in you. And as you kind of glance around, you see Alicia against the door, unmoving.
Still sleeping there.
Still sleeping.
What a chance.
I go out the service, the door, where the wires start coming in and out. It's just so, and check on Sarah, but from a distance. I just want to make sure that Sarah's okay.
Okay. You can hear gentle breathing from the other room as you kind of poke your head out and listen. She's still asleep.
I can go back to my place, to the wagon.
I mean, based upon her appearance and how she was moving, she looked absolutely fucking knackered when they got there the previous night.
Yeah.
She's probably slept through the entirety of the day.
I wish I had anything to give her, like food or anything. But I don't have any of those.
Nope.
No. I'm just
Thinking two meals.
No, but those are like a sixth of a meal together. So what I'm gonna do is go back in, close that door so that she doesn't know it's there, and just very quietly flare some systems back to life inside the servers. She's still gonna be there guarding the door. I take a picture.
Creepy Moses.
And I just hide it. It's one of those old ones. It's like I this is physical evidence. What do I do with it? No digital cameras unless I have. I'm so dead.
We'll go back to you in a moment. Jim.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you become aware of is that your body is bent at a really odd angle. Having slept in the bathtub in a kind of U formation. I mean, this is quite a narrow bathtub anyway for these kind of flats, but it's... And the first thing you're aware of is that the rigor mortis that sets into your body every time you sleep is not fully gone from your neck. And as you get up, you kind of have to put your neck back forcibly. And then you immediately feel the pain going through your nose and the other bits and pieces of you that are battered. However, the door is still barricaded, and you can't hear any movements on the other side of the door.
Very carefully remove the chair, look out.
Place is exactly how you left it. Not as bright, darker, but it's how you left it.
Do a message to everyone. How are you all?
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of God. Hashtag Dylan.
You don't know my name.
Now you do. So.
Yeah, at the moment I'm waiting for responses, particularly from Ben.
Have I woken up?
Yeah. Slowly, you've become. First of all, you're aware that there's a suffocating sensation that goes over you, and then as you kind of look around, your initial impulse is to breathe, and then you realise that the reason you can't is because the way that you've fallen when you slumbered brought the entirety of the rug around you, and is now suffocating you, or would suffocate you if you had to breathe. But as your kind of natural/unnatural desire to not breathe kicks in, you suddenly just realise that
It's like a dementor.
you just uncoil yourself, unfurl yourself and get rid of it, and then you immediately glance around, readjusting to where you are. And then, what do you want to do?
Now, do I get texts in the basement?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You would in this one.
So first things first, has anything changed?
Yes, Danielle isn't there.
Okay. So I will text back. Because the question was, how is everyone else? Is that right?
Yeah.
So I'll say fine. And I'm going to make my way out. Sorry, I'll take a moment because obviously it's Seven's gallery, so I'll straighten my clothes, dust myself off a bit.
You probably receive a text message back saying, you come back to yours?
I'll text back saying, not sure, we'll let you know soon. I'm going to go and very carefully put the sheet back exactly on the piece that I took it from, and try and get it as neat as it was. And then I'm going to make my way just kind of back out of the basement, kind of listening for.
Roll me. I'll say resolve plus all specs.
Just all specs, yeah? Okay.
Resolve plus all specs.
Okay. That's a bestial fail.
Roll anything?
No, I could re-roll. I'm almost tempted not to for the fun, though. Bestial fails are awesome.
the fun?
No,
Bestial fail.
Fine, no.
You'd
I'll
have to roll 2 successes to unbestial fail it, wouldn't you?
No, if I get any single success.
Oh, okay,
So no, I'll spend the willpower. So boring.
Think about destroying all the...
Part of me hopes in multiple series
Bestial-
for this, but...
Bestial failing
hope
in
you don't-
Evan's gallery. What could be more fun than that? Nothing apparently. It's a
Clearly,
bestial fail.
fate is with us. Oh God!
Come on! I thought it was. There wasn't enough excitement in the
To be
session,
fair, we
frankly.
haven't had a compulsion for a very long time.
No, this is the
Just so you know, out of the 7 dice,
I need
he
to
just
start
got
something.
2 bestials and 0 successes.
It can happen.
So it was like a 7 dice shunned.
I'm messaging you now.
What, you're messaging me on Discord?
We're getting tech.
Yeah, because it's harder for me to slip notes to you now that.
You could
Oh
make
yeah, we have lost the ability. We need to have like.
I'm just putting my phone back on.
You could just make paper. You could have some pre-folded paper aeroplanes ready to go.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me because I just start.
We just
Just
they're
you won't just
flying
for
around.
the funds.
Yeah.
So I've messaged you what it is.
Okay,
I'll pop back to you in a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Katya. Having recognised where you are, what do you want to do? What is your immediate? You've gotten. Did you respond to the message?
She would check her phone and she would. It was asking how people were, so I'll send
a message back saying, absolutely fine. How are you?
In addition to last night, my nose is broken again.
I assume this was self-inflicted.
Only way to be to ensure safe.
You had to break your nose to make sure you'd be safe.
Sucks to be me, right?
I don't dignify that with a response.
Oh, Cassie.
Never change.
So, as you put your phone away, unanswered, what do you want to do?
I think until any more distressing news comes by, I think for now she'd probably head back and just continue working. Like, she got into quite a good rhythm yesterday, finally having a bit of uninterrupted peace. So I think for now she'll carry on with work, but she'll be keeping her phone on hand. I was meaning to ask actually, is there in the Chantry a bit of a taboo against taking like phone calls on like a mobile device? I imagine there
Depends
would
on
be.
how old the Kindred is that sees
I
you
feel
doing
like
it.
in the library would be a little bit rude.
I mean, the older the Kindred are, the less they kind of like the tech, which is kind of your big issue with them at the moment. I mean, the acolytes aren't going to say jack shit to you. I mean, you outrank them.
She's going to keep it on hand for text, but I think if she was called, she would go back to her room to take a call. That seems like the polite thing to do.
Yeah, sure. So you head back to your room.
So I think she's got quite a few books and stuff with her. So I think for now she's going to carry on working in her room. I think just for a change of pace, and because she's kind of got into the habit of moving around a bit, I think every now and again she'll get up, stretch her legs, and go for a walk around the Chantry. And she might. Actually, no, I don't think she would head outside yet. I think she's still waiting for the smoke to clear, as it were.
Okay, so you just continue wandering through, making the odd visit into the library.
Yeah.
Most of the Kindred that are around aren't anyone particularly of importance, and there's quite a few ghouls moving back and forth. No one that stops and gives you discussion. No one that piques your interest, particularly when you have other concerns in your mind.
Out of interest, what are the rules in Chantry ergo feeding from ghouls?
Do you own them?
That's the point. Are there any that are just kind of, I guess, employed by the Chantry? Like, are there? Like in terms of the actual structure.
No,
how
they're
it would
more.
work?
They're more kind of.
They're personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I just wondered.
Yeah. I mean, you can hope that no one knows and just try.
Oh, don't worry, it's not going to happen.
Come on,
fine.
you need your gym moment too. Sorry, that's going to be a thing.
I'm not going to put myself in a gym situation.
Okay.
You're going to have to put me there. I'm sorry.
Oh, he will.
I mean, he already has. It's happened. It's happened in the past.
Hey, I was really nasty to her last book. It's your guys' turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be all on me this time.
Hey, you haven't lost Sarah until Sarah is tortured and murdered in front of your face, which I will gleefully watch.
Yeah.
Meanwhile. Okay. Moses. You continue working, looking through, and then the first thing that announces to you that you are no longer alone in the room, such as, is the creak of your chair as a pressure is put on the back of it, and you stop and turn and look up, and see Alicia kind of there, not looking at you so much as looking at the screen at what you're doing. She's discarded a hoodie. She has a basic tank top underneath, and the jeans. Like everything that Alicia wears, it fits her well, regardless of what she's wearing or practicality. But
my screen is probably my last will and testament. I'm finishing it up. I probably erased the last bit that said the werewolves are here, whatever that I wrote last night. I check in, as in log in. I have logged in, so it's not gonna auto send tomorrow. It's probably, yeah, my normal stuff, like how to deal with the company and the assets so I can transfer them and stuff like that.
She sits down next to you.
Hi.
You wanted a discussion.
Yeah, did you sleep well?
I've slept worse.
I'll take it. Sire's doing well. I mean, she's completely asleep. I have cameras, don't worry. No one tried to come in.
I can hear it, don't worry.
How did you find this place?
You don't think I know where each and every one of you resides? You travel with my child. Of course I'm going to check up on the company he keeps.
But I never come here. If ever.
You've come here before.
Yeah.
I finally see this, what did you say her name was? Alice?
Then I immediately just lock screens. Stay away from her.
You really are adorable, Moses.
I mean it. She's very important to me, and she has nothing to do with Jim. Actually, she dislikes him.
I'm getting a bit more of a hostile air from you than I did last time.
I get like that when I'm trying to defend Alice and my friends.
Did I say anything untoward toward Alice?
Well, the thing is that since I've met you, okay, lupines, Alicia, why are they in my domain?
Shit luck.
Well, thanks.
Well, I wouldn't call it good luck, Moses.
No, I mean, thank you. Because apparently it's because of you that I'm alive. Crown made sure to let me know that I should change. Thank you.
So tell me what he said. What did he...
He's looking for you.
Well, I gathered that.
He's with this other lupine, Amy. Short hair, weird dress, mesh up with trousers.
Yes.
She could see me.
Yes. But well, she can see things.
Okay.
I don't know what they... shamans or some... It's not like I have like a two-way dialogue going with them, Moses. I don't know everything about them. I just know that she's...
She's weird. Also dangerous. Also
They're all
she's
dangerous.
Hard. Well... Why? Why did he spare my life?
Because you amuse me.
I know that. How does he know that?
Do you really need to know that? Regardless, you were told.
I mean, yeah, I amuse you, but now I went from being something that amuses you to a toy that potentially gets trampled upon whatever is going on.
Well, if you want, I can let him know that my involvement with you is in the past.
No, I would rather you tell him to just go very, very far away.
You honestly think he would do that if I spoke to him?
No, she didn't kill me because you told him. Maybe you know something I don't.
I just want to pinch your cheeks.
I mean, also, Jim has no idea what you're doing. Look at this. And I turn on, unlock, blur, like, oh.
She leans on the desk.
And I start, like, hitting the hard drive, the connection, the one I just brought in from yesterday. Compiling. Like, oh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it. What's archived? So it's like, on archiving. Like, you're really, really, I mean, if I show this to Jim, he's gonna, like, okay, there. Her face. Yeah, that's no longer in any of the files. That's the only copy that exists.
Have you given any thought to what happens when he learns that you have these?
He's not gonna have any clue that I have this.
He's renowned for his perseverance.
Yeah. Also for his stubbornness.
Why do you think I made him?
I mean, no offense. But you do find me adorable? That doesn't speak very highly of your tasting guys. Probably. So...
I think I'm long past the point where looks are what appeal. It's not exactly like I have a libido to stoke, Moses.
No, but I mean... Okay, can we change the subject of this conversation? Make me a little uncomfortable.
She chuckles and then gets up and moves over towards the door and checks it again.
Why, Sarah? Why are you having her around? Why?
We'll pause there. So, after your phone call,
Yep.
what do you want to do? I'm going to try and flick between people as often as I can. I'll give you a moment. Benjamin.
Well, okay. I suppose I will look around because I'm still in the main, in a sort of slightly alarmed way, and then I'm gonna just get out of here. I'm gonna start making my way up, out of the gallery.
Okay. You start making your way up the stairs, and the first thing that you become aware of as you reach the top, your silent steps just carrying you up towards the top. You stop and you listen, and you can hear talk. And you open the door very slowly, and you can see Danielle that's in the other room, seated and speaking to Amelia.
Okay.
And Amelia's hands are being clasped by Danielle, who's just leaning in and speaking to her. And then the moment that Danielle looks over and sees you, she releases her hands and then rights herself. And Amelia stops and looks over at you, and then brushes herself down and climbs to her feet. Danielle remains where she is, but she's observing you.
So what were you doing?
To who are you speaking?
Danielle.
I was just speaking with Amelia. I haven't seen her in a while. You can also see, now that you're glancing at her, that whilst this place is empty, there is someone else that is in there. On the far side of the gallery, standing at one of the pictures, just with his back to you, just watching. But your glance toward them is kind of flickers as it comes back towards Danielle.
So obviously I'm watching these people, but I'll also probably, because we're in the gallery area here, I guess. Are the pictures up in this bit? Or
yeah, there are pictures. They're in the entrance area is the gallery, so it's open into the gallery, but it's a separate seated area.
Okay. Are there any of Abigail's pictures here?
There's one.
Okay, so my eyes will come to that.
Okay.
I'll look at it for a few moments. Not good enough. It's not good enough. Excuse me. I'm gonna start making my way out.
Okay. You stop as you reach the door, just purely because you can hear a voice, and it sounds like Edmund coming from the door back behind you. Do you still have all specs up? Would you have activated it?
Probably. I mean, if I can hear Edmund's voice, yes. If I recognise it.
You reach the door, you stop as it activates, and you feel the flood of sensations coming in. But you hone in on that one particular one, and you can hear, "What have you done?" coming from that side room.
Where Danielle is?
No, past them. The side room that Edmund normally takes you in.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting and juicy. So I think I will probably edge a bit closer to listen.
Okay. You move over towards the door, and Amelia kind of watches as you go. She's about to say something, but Danielle grabs her hand and then just pulls her back. And they're both just watching you. But at this point, they're forgotten. You move over towards the door and listen. And you can just hear from within, muffled, almost as though it's spoken over a great distance, that you can't... I mean, there's only the door in the way, but it sounds like it's been spoken. Yeah. Why? It was not yours. It was mine. Do you know what you robbed me of? I had clarity. I had perfect clarity for the first time, and you robbed me of it. Now get away. I said get away. No. You have no idea what you've done.
Do I think there's someone else in the room with Edmund?
Sounds like you're speaking to someone else.
Can I hear anyone else moving, another breathing, heartbeat, anything?
Wits plus wits plus awareness.
Jesus, hang on a minute. I've just got to check out what my negative modifiers are. Wits plus awareness. Okay, so I assume I get all specs on this. Let's check that out.
Because you said you had it up.
We go. Right. Okay. Well, 3 successes.
Oh. 3 successes.
Yeah.
There was no one else in there. And then...
Alright, I'm going.
Well, you think there's no one else in there. But then as you start to turn, you can hear a kind of whimper. And then something... someone backpedaling and someone shuffling almost like they're moving over the floor. And then something that sounds like crying.
Well, as much as I would love to know what's on the other side of this door, does it sound male or female, the one whimpering and crying and backing off? Or young or old?
No, male.
Male-ish? No, I don't think I'm going to try and peek in. I think that's just too risky. So I'm going to maybe notice that the other two are watching me, start slightly, and then just go out, leave the gallery.
Okay, Amelia's watching you go. Again, she looks almost as though she's going to go over towards the door, but Danielle holds her fast. And it's only when you've gone towards the door and stepped through it, as you can see the door closing, Danielle turns back to her and starts speaking with her again, and the door shuts.
Look around the gallery at the paintings, and
so you went further into the gallery?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, actually, no. I'm just leaving. I'm just leaving, and I'm going on foot somewhere.
Okay, we'll put that to you in a moment.
Yeah.
Jim. Jim's had a response from Katia. He's going to call Moses.
Bzzzt. Bzzzt. You look around for your phone. Alicia's got it. Dangles it in front of you.
Is it a call or a text?
It's cool.
Calling.
It's still buzzing. She leans in.
Moses?
Hello?
You sound chipper.
Oh no. I had a good night. I went drinking and dancing.
And you got lucky.
Yeah, like the good old times. Come on, Jim, what do you want?
We agreed last night we would go out to feed appetites in Paris.
You're in Benjamin's place, right?
He is not here, and he I don't think he's coming back anytime soon.
Yes, hang on a second. I am dealing with something on the computer. I'm gonna put you in the speaker. I wink at her and I put on the speaker. Okay, you're now in the speaker. So you're saying you're in Benjamin's flat, but he's not around, and I just hit the keyboard so he can listen to it. So I'm typing nothing. The screen.
She's leaning in, resting her head on her hands, just uncomfortably close to the phone, just as she's listening to it.
So, as we made that agreement last night, and I'm sure Kat is probably fairly unreachable at this point. Mm-hmm. Would you mind? Because as of last night, I got glass shards on my back from. But what I did not tell you last night is that they're from our guest that you do not like.
Darren?
Think more the one that you're more scared of.
No, dude, I'm not getting anywhere near you. Talk to Katya if you wanna hunt. If the ghost is with you, no, ay, Dios mío, no. Hang up. He's talking about a ghost.
Yes, I heard. A ghost?
It's real. I'll show you the footage. And I show her the footage of the chain going from like no one touching it. Look at that. Look at that. Also, I've heard like knocking in the haven. I literally jump under my bed. Immediately.
Alicia laughs.
After that happens, I realize probably Sarah and how ridiculous I must look. But I was talking about the ghost knocking. So I'm under the bed and I pull like the mattress.
Alicia laughs, gets up, moves over to the door. From under where you are, you can't hear anything other than the door opening. Sarah speaking, and then Alicia speaking very softly back to her, and then of the door shutting behind them.
Sorry, I had to hide my face so Sarah wouldn't know. And
Alicia's on the other side of the door with her.
Oh, she went out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I pretend that that's what happened.
Yeah.
That I just was hiding my clan bane. Actually, I just look from the inside. I'm in the inside. I just obfuscate one in the inside of my own wagon and watch from the window, like invisible.
Okay.
At their conversation. Let's see how that goes.
Okay. You got hung up on. That happens to you a lot.
Seriously? I'm nowhere near that fucking thing.
What do you want to do?
Katya.
Bzzzt. Bzzzt. Bzzzt.
I'm in my room. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, with regards to that agreement we made last night.
Which one? We made several.
The one about us snacking together.
Why you word it like that?
Well,
Are you asking for a favour? Because if that's the case, I am currently indisposed. I look up from a pile of books with a duvet around me.
Well, Benjamin's currently nowhere. It doesn't sound like he's going back in time soon. Moses.
Have you tried calling him this morning?
Evening.
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Yeah. That. I don't know, and I would really like to be able to get this glass out of my back without risking another cleanup incident.
Call Benjamin again, and then get back to me. I have important clan business.
Which one?
Would I hear anything on the line?
Roll wits plus awareness.
3 again, no, that sucks. 1 success.
1 success. Okay. You can hear. Well, you hear a door opening, but there's nothing to suggest it's not him.
No.
All right. Go your back. Think, and then very carefully, very quietly move around to see what hell door was that.
Okay. Are you doing it silently?
I'm doing it as quiet as I can.
Dex plus stealth.
Have you hung up yet, or are you keeping the line open? Because I'm probably, if you haven't hung up yet, I'm probably...
I think I've quite hung up the line at the moment. That will be 3.
You move up towards the door and listen. And then from the other side of the door, you hear, "You're not Benjamin."
Loudspeaker. Phone. Who is it?
I recommend you step outside now. And you can hear footsteps.
What's going on?
Open the door.
You see the man that you recognise from court, with his hair tied back in a ponytail, long kind of coat. And you recognise this to be Benjamin Sire. And he's staring at you. And there's an odd expression on his face. Now, what are you doing here?
Edmund?
Where is Benjamin?
Currently, I have no idea. Is there anything that you need particularly that I can potentially help you with?
Where is the sewer rat?
Moses is probably in the sewer.
Right, I need a check from you.
Jim doesn't actually know where he is.
You do. You know he's not in the sewer.
I don't think Moses actually told him where he was going.
Yeah, but you know he's not in the sewer because you've been calling him.
Oh, yeah. So that would be what?
Oh, God.
This is a social combat roll.
Oh!
Social combat!
Oh, Jesus.
Yay!
Good luck. Oh no.
What did you get?
Bestial.
I have a 10 and a 1.
Both on red dice, so you've got a skull and a bestial success.
So let's hope you beat him, because then that won't count. If you win the contest, it won't be a bestial, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Wow, it's suddenly 2 compulsions in one session.
I know, it's
A
like
10 and a bestial failure.
Yes.
Okay. I will be in touch with your compulsion in a moment.
Oh shit.
oh God.
However,
2 promotions.
how many did you roll?
I had 2 dice. I rolled 1.
Okay.
Just 1.
So you take 4 points of superficial willpower damage.
Well,
How much do you have left?
He's into aggravated, I believe.
3. Aggravated.
Okay.
This is why you don't spend
The
it, guys.
moment that you say this, he steps up closer towards you. And in that small distance, despite the fact that you are comparable in size to him, and you're certainly larger than him, the moment he moves up towards you, he doesn't look at you in the eye, but more like he's looking at your torso, as though he's thinking of a response. But in that stare, you feel a withering that is unlike anything you felt before. It feels like there's one other time in your life that you can think of that you felt this, and this was when you were, well, 2 other times. First time was when you were in the car and you saw that thing, whatever the fuck it was, and the terror that gripped you then. And the second time was when you were embraced, and the helplessness you felt there. And you feel it now as he kind of stares at you. I have the feeling that you're not being entirely honest with me.
Alright, well maybe he's not understood, but I don't know where the fuck he is. Do you want me to call him and arrange a meeting?
You're awfully rude.
Thank you, someone said it.
I've forgotten just how much I disdain those without manners. It's of no consequence. Why are you in my child's home?
I needed a place to sleep.
You don't have your own?
My own personal place? No.
I recommend you leave now.
Alright. Have a good evening. Bonus fill the entire time.
I'm just like,
and I exit.
He does not leave. He stays where he is. But the moment you step out, you start going down the corridor, and then as you kind of glance back, you realise that Edmund's standing in the corridor watching you go. And it's only once you've turned the corner does he turn and step back into the room, and then you hear the...
I wait till I'm down all the flights of stairs, having turned the phone back onto... And go,
holy shit!
What the Why is... Doesn't Edmund have Ben's phone? What the fuck is going on?
Some weird artist thing, probably.
Yeah,
Tell you what, I will contact Edmund, goodness no. I will contact Benjamin, and I will impress upon him the importance that he comes to find you. I'm sure if he doesn't know where Edmund is, he's probably been looking for him.
well, any suggestions on where I should currently head? Because it would be quite creepy me standing around outside here.
Back to the domain if you're hungry. I'm sure they're gone. Just be really stealthy, you'll be fine. I'll get Benjamin to help you.
Yes, really stealthy, that's Moses.
Well, I'll get on both their cases then. That's not really my specialty. Besides, I have a lot going on here at the moment.
Alright.
I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Best of luck, and, keep a hold of yourself. You're doing just great.
Are you done?
Okay.
I will probably call Benjamin when is appropriate.
Okay. I'll jump over to you. Okay, are you calling straight away, or are you...
Yeah, as much as I don't want to be the one to help Jim, I want someone to help Jim, even me.
I'll jump, have a look at my phone, and just put it on.
Benjamin, it's Kat here. Are you alright? I have important news about Edmund.
What have you done?
It's not alright. It's not alright.
No.
But I think I know how to make it better.
That's good. He's just been speaking to Jim, actually.
He is not yours.
Well, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be talking to him.
He was at your flat.
He's not Jim's.
No, he's not, but he is at your flat right now. I wonder what he's doing there. You really should check it out. He might be looking for you. He might be looking for your painting. He might be wanting to see
Looking
it.
for who?
Looking for you, Benjamin.
It's all right. I'll make it better. It's all right. It's all right.
Good.
I'm going to turn my phone off. And I'm going to take the walkie-talkie out of my pocket and turn it off as well.
Okay. Meanwhile, Moses, you've been going through all of this stuff, and previously and after doing this, and she stepped out into the other room and she's speaking with Sarah. Are you just standing there and watching?
Trying to figure out what are they talking about.
Okay. They are speaking relatively quiet. You've got a window that you can look through.
Yeah. That's and listen to.
And it's hard for you to see. I mean, you cannot see most of what's being said, and it's at the angle where you can only catch one half of their lips moving. Sarah still appears tired, but she's speaking to Alicia, and Alicia is just placing a hand on either arm and just stroking them in a very kind of comforting, almost maternal way. And then now and again she just pinches the lower part of her chin as she speaks to her. She is a taller woman, and is very maternal in everything that she's doing. And every time Sarah says something and then looks as though she's about to go towards the door, Alicia just shakes her head and then responds. And then Sarah just goes from shaking her head to nodding. And then she goes back and sits down on the sofa. And Alicia goes up behind her and just runs her fingers through her hair. And then moves back over towards the door. And as she turns around, she moves over towards the window, seems to look through you towards the desk.
She's still on the couch?
No, Alicia's moved back over to the window. She's looking in
okay.
the room.
Okay, I appear.
Or you just appear in front of her.
Well, inside when she goes through the window, but outside the in an angle that Sarah won't be seeing me, just Alicia.
Okay.
Come in.
She moves back around, opens the door, and closes it.
So, is she okay?
Oh, she's fine. None of your concern. I can look after her.
Is she hungry?
I didn't actually think to ask. Probably.
There's a couple of places here, nice chippy around.
Well, I'll make that priority once we've had our discussion.
Why are you going around with her? Why were you looking for Jim? If you wanted to find Jim, why not call me?
I know where Jim is.
Why are you taking Sarah around looking for him? Isn't she supposed to think Jim is dead?
Maybe. She certainly doesn't think that now.
No, but probably because someone might have told her. I'm not gonna say who.
Whoops.
That is dangerous.
I think I've had far greater sins in my past, Moses, than...
Yeah, but that's dangerous for us.
No.
What
No,
do you
it's
mean,
not.
She could breach the Masquerade or something. Well, you know Jim. He could breach the Masquerade just trying to avoid her.
From what I understand, Moses, you lot are doing a pretty good job of breaching the Masquerade yourselves. At least I'm keeping mine contained.
You probably would receive a text about now saying Jim's about to breach.
Yeah.
Plus, Benjamin's lost it.
Basically, other than my little incident at McDonald's, which was contained and stopped, so probably you haven't heard of it, but probably you have. I don't know. Pretty much every single breach in the Masquerade is going to be someone in my coterie that I have to cover up for. Oh look, message from Katya. Jim's about to lose it and break the Masquerade. Look, another text. Benjamin's lost. What? Okay, I was not expecting that one. Benjamin's lost it. So he probably is going to break the Masquerade again. So it's now back to babysitting duty. You know, do you understand my position?
Do you get fed up of it?
Well, yeah, but it's not like I can go to Emrys and say, hey, pretty please, with sugar on top, can I not be in the coterie with people who fuck up constantly? Sorry, I didn't mean to say it that far.
And you wonder why I left my responsibilities as a sire?
I'm not happy. I'm not happy that I have to be...
Then don't.
Then not many options, girl.
There's plenty. Who says you have to remain in London? Do you think that I remain in one place for too long? There are benefits to being on the move, Moses.
I know, but my clan, I owe them. And you should know this better than me. The Nosferatu is not a clan you want looking for you. Especially if you owe them.
Well then, repay your debt and be on your way. From what I understand, the only person keeping you here is you. As soon as you owe your debts and you have no fear of your clan, why remain? Do you honestly think that Emrys would follow you out of the city? He'd probably be glad there's one left's mouth to feed. There are some of us with much larger appetites than yours, Moses.
Yeah, but the problem is that you decided to cut your ties to others, including your Childe.
Childe. I only have the one.
How am I supposed to know? But I haven't chosen to do that just yet. There's people I care about here.
Well, they won't be around forever, Moses.
Some of them can. Some of them might.
You're a little optimist, aren't you?
Well, why? What's the point of being a pessimist? I already died. Well, even though things can suck or be like tough, other than dying again, this time for good, I don't see any way why I should not think as things going just up or becoming better at some point, even if for just a little while.
Thank you for reminding me why you're worth the effort.
The effort of what?
Remaining.
Okay.
I
can help.
How much do you care for your fellows? And for, well, I suppose Jim in particular?
Oh, not much. He broke into my room, busted the lock. And
how much would you like to be free of the lupines?
Very. Especially if that scores me a lot of points with a constable. She's a clansmate of yours, isn't she?
She's nothing like me.
Oh, 100%. Totally agree. Couldn't agree more. But I'm just asking if, like, since you're both clansmates, do you have you...
I can get rid of them for you in return for a boon.
Second, open the thing, go to a master file, grab my keyboard away from her where she cannot see me typing, like a 37 keystrokes password. Open the file, booms. And I just scroll down so she doesn't read the names and just add new boon. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Sure. Yes. Yes. Boon holder. Alicia. Type of boon. I hate you. Choose. This is a yes. I owe too many boons. Another. Then see, you're not gonna.
See, Moses. The trick is to be the one that has the boons.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be that guy. I was that guy.
Then be that guy.
Yeah.
From what you've told me, you cover up the fuck-ups of everyone you know.
Yeah.
Have you ever once said that you'll do it in exchange for a boon?
Yeah, of course.
Well, you're clearly not doing it very well, darling.
No, but Jim, Katya, and Benjamin saved the life of someone that I care for a lot. So I freed them of the minor boon.
Well, that's sweet, but it doesn't help you in the long run.
No, it doesn't, but it does mean that that person who's very special to me is still alive to this day.
Well, the nature of the world you live in is that this is the currency of the damned. And sweet thing, if you don't start making yourself wealthy, you're going to remain a pauper forever, and everyone's just going to shit on you. Now most Nosferatu like it down in the shitholes, but not all of them. And some of them like to play that they live down there, but they actually live on the very tippy top.
Well, actually I have a pretty nice condo if you ever want to visit it. Not like I'm asking you to my flat for weird stuff. It's like it's a nice view.
I wouldn't want to break you.
On that we agree again. So what type of boon? Because it sounds
Let me have a think. I need to go and feed my companion. And then...
Are you cooling her?
Does it look like I've ghouled her?
I have no idea how that looks.
You've never seen a ghoul?
Yeah. But I don't know how is the process of ghouling one, how that happens. Also, I didn't know. The ghouls I've met, well, the ghoul I have met personally, she was already a ghoul by the time I met her. For probably a while.
Well, we'll have this discussion later on. And she gets up and moves over towards the door, clicks it, gives you a wink and steps outside.
I'll be here, honey.
Katya. Is there anything else you want to do other than a lot of reading?
Oh, yeah.
Book in one hand. Come on, Moses. Call him.
Bzzzt.
Are they gone?
No, they're in the other room. Bzzzt. They're in the other room.
They're in the room.
Bzzzt.
Hang up. Immediately text back. Immediately. Like, I hang up. Like, the call immediately text back. Sorry, kind of busy. A here. Call you in 5 or less. And update the boon file.
Okay. After a few minutes, you hear the...
They leave?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they will probably ask me to open the door, the outer door.
Assuming they need you to. Okay.
And they do leave. I go back. Actually, speed dial. Katya.
Hello.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
I can honestly tell you I'm pleased about that.
Really? That is...
Yes, out of everyone, I'm definitely pleased that you made it through the night.
Also, I think I have good news and bad news.
Okay, well you go first, because I only have bad news.
Well, the good news is that we might get rid of the lupine problem.
That is good news.
The bad news is I owe another boon.
Well...
And this one doesn't look like a minor one.
I can give you a quick way to get yourself a boon. Oh, to you. Jim sounds pretty desperate right now.
Yeah, he said that he was pretty desperate, but he called while Alicia had my phone in her hands.
I bet she loved that.
Well, actually, she adored it when I put it on speaker.
So, you spent the last few hours flirting with Alicia?
Actually, she stayed the night.
So, quite a lot of hours flirting with Alicia?
Not flirting with Alicia, just sharing the same general area.
Right, so I assume that she has no interest in picking things up with Jim then?
I have no idea why she wouldn't, since it was more of a threesome night because Sarah was also here.
What?
Yeah, but she was not in the general vicinity of where Alicia and I slept.
Alright.
Not that we slept together or anything.
Okay, well, we can discuss elements of that face to face, I'm sure. But yes, regarding current situation, Jim sounds desperate. I told him not to do anything stupid outside the domain.
So you sent him to do something stupid inside the domain?
No, I told him to speak to you and Benjamin, actually.
Oh shit, but I cannot leave this place. Alicia went out to get some food for Sarah. They went for a cheapie, probably. How about...
You've got some time.
Well, they're coming back, and I think Alicia wants to hold up here for at least a couple of hours, maybe a couple of days. I have no idea. So why don't you try to meet Jim? Also, I will need you to hopefully reconnect all the cameras they were unplugged last night.
I'm not going back to the domain until the lupine issue is sorted.
Oh shit! Well, I cannot leave this place until I get confirmation that the lupine business will be sorted.
Well, it seems that you're in a safer position with the lupines than anyone else is.
You're gonna owe me for this. I will go if you say that you will owe me. I will take care of the lupines, Jim, and go in and reconnect the cameras.
Fine. I will owe you in a minor way. You will owe Alicia however you owe her.
Oh no, my ass is hurt.
She's already saved your butt once.
Yeah, that's why he's... let's not get into the details of that one. That's gonna hurt.
I will attempt to reconnect with Benjamin later. That's the second issue. He sounded completely gone when I called him.
Okay, try to get in touch with him. I'll try to see what I can do. I'll try to find Jim.
Understand that I would be more willing to help Jim in this situation if it wasn't for the fact that the domain is a bit outside my jurisdiction and my particular techniques do certainly not line up with Jim's. Wow. There is no way I can make someone willing to feed Jim right now.
Well, you're telling me I am in the worst position to help him, because if I tell Alicia what I'm going to do...
sneak around. I can't even do that.
Okay, you know what? I said I'd do it.
You're gonna do great. I believe in you, 100%.
I mean, yeah. Thanks for the words of encouragement. But, and here's the deal. If Jim messes up before I get there, not my fault.
It's Jim's fault.
Cool. I'm glad you.
We both agree if Jim messes up before anyone gets to him, it's Jim's fault.
Cool.
And it'll be outside the domain, therefore it's not even in our jurisdiction.
Excellent. Okay, we're in agreement. Now, try and get me information of the places where your friend frequents when she goes out in town. And I'll try to help you with that other thing. Maybe we can make that interesting in some other way.
Yes.
Right now, let me call Jim before he messes up.
Good luck, and I mean that.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Oh man, if I were hot, I would be all over the place with so many girls around me that like me.
You're useful.
Yeah, but the men in my life right now are just Benjamin and Jim, and I start painfully dialing Jim's number. It's like, yeah, and this fucker is gonna be the end of me.
While you do that,
like, I totally get women. Men suck. Jim, you suck.
Benjamin.
So,
in the aftermath of this phone call, this rattling phone call, what do you want to do?
well, I'm looking to try and make sense of things. And I think that there's a place not a million miles away from Edmund's Gallery that I'm going to just be going towards naturally.
Okay. How are you going there? You going to drive?
No, I'm going to go on foot.
Okay. It doesn't take you too long to go. I mean, it's almost like you're guided more on instinct than actual thought. You've only been there the one time, but you are carried with an ease, and people seem to kind of move out of your way as you kind of move, or rather you seem to be gliding through them with a kind of almost serpentine ease as you make your way over towards. And then finally you are standing before a familiar building, uncomfortably familiar to your standards. But you can... it doesn't look as foreboding as it did last time you were here. And all the obstacles... what obstacles? And you can see a light on up in the room that you know, for whatever reason, has to be hers.
All right, I'm going to I think what I'm going to do. What time is it? I think it's quite relatively early in the evening.
Yeah. It's probably, by the time you get there, probably about between 7 and 8.
This flat. Sorry, these flats. Assumably there are buzzers for the different flat numbers. Right?
Yeah.
So it's flat. Is it flat 3? I can't remember. Or flat 4, something like that.
I'll have to check.
It doesn't matter too much. I'm going to buzz the flat number.
Okay. Bzzzt. Hello?
I'm not going to answer.
The buzzing goes.
Buzz it again.
Bzzzt. Hello?
Buzz it again.
This isn't funny.
Buzz it.
No answer.
Okay, I'm going to wait, but I will. I'm going to activate Silence of Death, and I'm also going to activate Unseen Passage, which is hilarious because I'm on Hunger 4.
Compulsions.
But you know.
Hunger 5.
Let's find out if I'm on Hunger 5 for the first time.
Turns out it wasn't Jim who breached.
Yeah, the one night.
No, I'm on Hunger 4.
Yeah, the one night I dedicate myself to help Jim not to fuck up is when he goes on a rampage.
So I'm going to wait
outside
by this door because I figure there's lots of people living in these flats, and waiting for an opportunity just to slip in.
Okay. So you have Silence of Death
and Unseen Passage.
Okay. It doesn't take you too long until someone does start coming up. It's a woman that seems to be carrying a fair bit of shopping, and she has with her a small dog that she's walking. The dog moves up past, lingers close to where you are, but then just kind of sniffs, and then just goes up towards the door, scratches at it as she kind of juggles to try and get the keys into the lock whilst holding onto the bags, gets it, nudges it open with her door, kicks it to give it a wide berth, and then steps through as the dog lumbers after it, and you just very slowly step in after. You are now inside. And she, completely oblivious to the individual that's just stepped in behind her, just staggers up the stairs.
I'll watch her go.
Okay. She turns the corner. There's a moment where she could possibly look down and see you, but for whatever reason she doesn't. The dog continues bounding up the stairs and she goes after it.
Okay. So I'll make my way up to the flat.
Okay. It's a pretty standard door, pretty simple. There's no windows or anything looking. There is a keyhole. What do you call them?
Peephole.
A peephole.
But otherwise it's just got the number of the flat on it.
Listening at the door. Just to, I don't worry about details. I'm just going to hear if she sounds like she's like nearby the door.
Not nearby the door. You can hear movement within. What sounds like a tap running, and then it sounds like a door being opened and then closing, and then opened again, and then footsteps that sound closer, and then after a moment, and the clutter of something that sounds like keys, there's movement again, moving away from the door.
Like someone's got keys and headed it back into the flat. Okay. Wait a little bit longer in case if she's picking up keys, if it sounds like she's about to come out.
Well, the keys were close to the door, but then the footsteps have receded away.
Alright. I'll just wait just a minute or so, and if nothing else comes of it, I'm going to start looking at this door, trying to look at if there's a way I could get in, and if not, I'll be patient. I'll wait a while.
I mean, you could try picking the lock. There's no one on the landing.
Okay.
And the only footsteps that you can hear that aren't within this doorway and aren't within either doors are upstairs. The woman's still struggling to get into her own flat. Yeah. And the scratching of the dog at the door.
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming my all penalties are still in effect.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be hilarious. I'll try and do this. How confident do I feel when I look at this door? Like, do I think it's just?
It looks like your bog standard kind of. I mean, the apartments that you've seen, or the flats that you've seen, like along here, seem to be pretty. They don't look like she's enhanced the lock, so it's pretty bog standard.
I mean,
council allocated.
Always get minimum woman.
The thing is, I'll be like on a hunger dice. I mean, it's just hilarious. But it's a bog standard door. I can rouse.
You've got a knife.
I get the feeling if you do go to Hunger 5, this is on you, not on me. I just want that on the statement.
I'll try it. I'll try the door.
Okay.
No, nothing.
No. You reach out, but from its sheer close proximity to you, there's no sound, even though you jerk the door handle.
I'll wait.
And then you try testing it again, seeing whether or not you can just jimmy it without forcing it. It doesn't move.
Okay.
I'll let you succeed at a cost.
What's the cost?
You'll break through the door to get in. You'll break the it's going to be clear it was a B&E.
No. I'll wait.
Okay. So you're just waiting where you are?
Yeah.
Okay. How long are you willing to wait?
Is there any kind of... There's no internal bell or buzzer or knocker or anything, is there?
No, you can just knock on the door.
I could. Okay, what I'll do... I'll drop Silence of Death.
Okay.
I'll knock. Not very loudly, but I will knock on the door. And then I will reassert Silence of Death and wait.
You can hear footsteps approaching. The sound of keys being dropped back into something and making contact with.
There's a, like, is there like a, you know when you come into this flat area, is she like a floor up?
Yes.
Are there any other doors, like a landing, like a general landing door before you come into the bit where the flats are?
No, it's the stairs come straight out onto the
no
little
door
box
or anything
opening.
like that?
No, it's just
Okay.
her door. There's 4 doors that lead into different...
Have a quick glance around. Are there any, like, just any kind of detritus, rubbish, pebbles, stones, a bit of grit, anything?
Not on the landing, no. And her footsteps are approaching.
Take your shoe off.
No. Do I have any coins in my pocket?
I'd assume so.
Take a coin, and just as she's starting to open the door, I will throw a coin down the stairs. So hopefully it'll clatter a bit.
Okay. We'll jump back to you in a moment. Jim, you are making your way out of Benjamin's building.
Yeah.
Downstairs with the same chilling, kind of numb, cold sensation that has riddled you since he spoke to you. And you'll be making your way downstairs until you step out into the cold breeze outside. What do you want to do?
Jim's going to head back to the domain.
Okay. What's Moses doing? You going to meet him?
Calling him.
Okay. Bzzzt.
Oh, hello.
Hi, where are you?
I just left Ben's place.
Okay, no going to the Haven. Not going to the Cross Hands, because the ghost's there. So, how about we sort of meet later? Not now. Are you really hungry?
I'm not really hungry, but I'm on a street with a broken nose again, and I've got glass still in my fucking bag.
How about you go dream?
I'm trying to work with you here, Moses.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get you to a safe place so I can meet with you before we go back to the domain. I don't know if the lupines are still there. How about I meet you in about an hour in my condo. I'll give you the address. And then I go and scout for a person for you to feed upon in our domain after I make sure there are no lupines. So yes, it's gonna be a really slow and boring night for you. But I want to make sure that we're A, not feeding outside our domain, and B, not dying because we went to our domain to feed.
Well, you sure you don't need me there as backup in case there are them there?
Well, unless you can turn invisible. No, I don't want you as backup.
Alright.
So I'll send you the address again. See you there in about an hour.
Alright.
Wait, how long will it take me to get from here to my flat? Maybe like 15 minutes or something, right?
Yeah, you don't live too far away.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you in about an hour.
Especially if you're driving. Assuming you're driving. No? How are you planning? It'll take more than 15 minutes if you're not. This is early evening, there is a lot of traffic.
Yeah, but I didn't bring anything. I don't have a car.
Yeah.
I was using Will's car.
Yeah, in that case it will take longer than.
And my
15
motorcycle
minutes.
is in the grass hands.
Yeah, it would take longer than 15 minutes if you're going by foot.
And I go like, actually, see you in an hour and a half because I do need a dirt bike. Toot, and I hang up. That's probably the way I'm gonna get a dirt bike eventually. So what I'm gonna do is send a text to Katya and say, gym situation sort of contained. We'll keep you posted. Any success on Benjamin? While I do that, I start browsing, like checking around the area to see if CCTV outside. If she is, if they, Sarah and Alicia, are around or coming.
No, not at the moment.
I start getting everything ready. So, for example, like, yeah, I'm literally getting stuff ready to leave in about an hour. But I will go to my place to meet Jim. So what I'm gonna do is just be there doing my work in. You know what? I need a distraction. I'm gonna do work on the ring.
The ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just work on it, like, you know what, until Alicia comes or an alarm in about an hour, and if not, I will leave her a message. I will send her a text.
Okay. And we'll continue with that in a moment. Are you just standing in the door?
I'm standing near the doorway because I want to see what I'm looking for is an opportunity to see if she goes to check the noise or what she does when she comes out.
Okay, so where are you dipping in?
I want to be somewhere.
Oh, you've got thingy up.
Yeah, she can't see me.
All right, so you hear what sounds like the door shaking slightly, almost like a weight's been pushed against it. And then you can hear a curse, and then something that sounds like a latch being pulled across, and then the door opening, and she pokes her head out and looks down the stairs, and then looks around, looks directly through you. This isn't funny. And she moves over towards the stairwell and looks down.
So what's the situation with the door?
You could slip through now.
Then I will do that.
Okay, so you slip in past her. And it's a nice place. It's got art in there.
Yeah, I'm going to start going and investigating the art. One thing I will do, by the way, is I will look very carefully. Once I'm inside, I will just look to make sure there isn't anything like, say if she'd recently spilt something on the floor, where if I trod in it, I would then put footprints through the house or shit like that.
There's nothing on there.
But I'll basically start to I'll probably wipe my feet on the mat, and then I'll pad my way through.
Yeah. As you're moving further in, you can hear the footsteps coming back towards the door. And as you're glancing at these pieces, there's a sharp kind of annoyance going through you as you recognise not only the signature on them, but the style of art, the same style of art which was insultingly better than what you had achieved. You recognise each and every one of these pieces as hers as you move through. And then as you get towards the end, you hear and look around the corner, and you can see a cat moving up towards you, and it kind of weaves in past you, narrowly missing where you are, almost like it's, you know, you're not really consequential, and it moves out into the hallway just as she comes back in. Are you out of sight?
Well, she can't see me.
Okay.
She can't hear me, unless, as far as I know. So I'm going to basically, I'm not going to block her or get in her way, but I'm going to do things like start looking to see what kind of brushes she uses, what kind of paint she has. Is there anything? I'm basically hunting for signs about how she works, what her secret is, trying to learn how she is as good as she is.
Okay.
Not creepy at all.
As you're kind of glancing around, you look back over your shoulder as she comes through, and she picks up this cat, this Persian cat, and then just nuzzles it as it kind of lets out a quiet meow. She goes, "That's all right, Fagin. No one there," and then moves off with him. And she goes right past you as you kind of watch her move. And then you begin your observation. And that is where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Ooh.
We all survived.
You did survive.
We did survive.
Well, in my case, it's relative.
This is the most relaxing session Cashy's had.
Yeah.
You and your duvet and your What's that? Everyone's dead? I'm not. I'm comfy. So yes, thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Next week is episode 19.
Yes.
I had to really think about that. We are getting, we are rapidly approaching the end or the end zone
Just
of
the end.
Of our own lives.
I know of book 2.
Ooh.
Aren't we all?
Yes. So thank you very much, guys. Join us again next Monday. Grab anyone that you think might be remotely interested in the stream. Get them to give it a watch. We always like more people. And any questions that you got, shoot us towards us. So thank you again, guys, and we'll see you next week.
See you. Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Thames. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and ShrekNet, the links to which are down below. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. on Twitch. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.